Hey, hi, how you doing? Welcome back to another episode of the After Hours podcast. On today's episode, we have a guest, James Graves. James is a photographer at Club Loose, and he's been shooting photos for all the drift guys for, I don't know, maybe like 2018, I think he said is when he first got down there. So me and Carl pretty much met James during this episode, so it was pretty good. It was an interesting episode. We learned a lot about him, how he started, how he even got into this industry, and random jobs he's done along the way. So if you guys are interested in photography at all, this episode is definitely for you. And yeah, enjoy. Just a reminder, we are giving away products every month over on factionmotorsports.com. Every $5 spent gets you one entry, and Faction Motorsports merch and products get you double entries. For our website raffle this month, we are giving away a set of front and rear fenders from Origin Labo. Any size, style, and chassis of your choosing. Origin Labo has been the most popular aero company in drifting for years now, supplying drivers worldwide with fenders, over fenders, hoods, full body kits, and much more. From the subtle pole-style 30mm over fender all the way to their aggressive Type 4 75mm over fender, they have a wide range of sizes to make sure you can fit any tire and wheel combo you need to. The style options are also endless, so you can fine-tune the look of your car exactly how you want it. Make sure to check out their aero kits as well. The Driftline kit that dropped last year is quickly becoming one of their most popular styles. And don't worry if you have a newer car. Origin released a bunch of products for the ZN6 chassis last year. Not only do they continue to offer aero support for older vehicles, but they are looking towards the future as well. We are an authorized distributor for Origin Labo, so for more info on their parts or to place an order, check out our website, factionmotorsports.com. The Smile Death Challenge is going down this October 3rd to 5th at Lake Erie Speedway, located in Lake Erie, Pennsylvania. This is not your ordinary drift competition. For the first time in the USA, drift teams, media, and RC enthusiasts are confronted with multiple challenges leading up to the ultimate victory. Inspired by Option Video and other JDM drift events from the past, the Smile Death Challenge promises to be an unforgettable experience with over 27 hours of drifting action, food, music, RC drift, and special guests. You do not want to miss this awesome piece of drifting history. For more information on the event, visit sxdchallenge.com or on IG at smile_x_death. East Coast Drift School, which is located in Englishtown, New Jersey, is a driving school that offers a more private and intimate environment for learning how to drift. Whether you're someone who has countless drift events under their belt or someone who has yet to kick a clutch, East Coast Drift School is a great place to pick up some seat time and improve your drifting abilities. Be sure to follow East Coast Drift School on Instagram. Feel free to message them directly for pricing and availability as well. You can find them on Instagram at East Coast Drift School. Chase Bays has been a household name in our industry for over 15 years, supplying us with tons of fluid power products such as power steering cooler kits, oil catch cans, engine oil coolers, hydraulic handbrake kits, and of course their dual piston brake booster delete kits, which fit a wide variety of vehicles. The core values of Chase Bays has always been function, simplicity, quality, and aesthetic. All of their products are user-friendly and easy to install while of course looking the part. The quality of their products has only increased over the years, and now with Front Street Drift Club being a sponsored team of Chase Bays, you can guarantee the products will be stress tested as well. You can check out Chase Bays products and place your orders directly on our website, and make sure to use the coupon code ChaseBaysAfterHours with no spaces to save on checkout. Limitless AutoFab is a fabrication shop and retailer located in Illinois. They produce bash bars and catch cans for a bunch of popular models in the drifting community. Limitless bash bars are honestly the industry standard right now. Fabricated from 1.5-inch mild steel tube, these bars are designed to take the impact of light collisions in order to avoid or minimize damage to your vehicle. A must-have for drift cars. Their bars also come with jacking points and optional license plate brackets, so everything you need is right there from the start. Limitless Auto also sells catch cans for a handful of specific models. These cans are built in-house and chassis specific. We have used these cans in the shop with great results. The guys over at Limitless are on social media, so make sure to check out their Instagram and give them a follow. They post photos of all the drift cars using their products, from Front Street Drift Club to Animal Style. If you are in the market for a bash bar or catch can, make sure to check out their full product line up on our website, factionmotorsports.com. This podcast is brought to you by Faction Motorsports. We are an automotive performance shop located in East Rutherford, New Jersey. Our shop is easy to get to from Route 17, 3, and 21. We are also only 15 minutes away from New York City. Faction Motorsports provides services that include, but are not limited to, performance part installations, suspension overhauls, general maintenance, engine installations, tire mounting and balancing, and custom four-wheel alignments with our in-house Hunter alignment machine. We also stock a range of performance products in-house. From AN fittings and gaskets to complete body kits, we try to stock as many parts as we can to provide quick shipping times for our website customers and same-day pickup for locals. Make sure to shoot us an email if you are looking to set up an appointment or if you are looking for a part that is not up on our website. Our email is sales@factionmotorsports.com. We are also on Instagram at Faction Motorsports.
Well, welcome everybody to the Faction After Hours podcast. In case you guys missed that first little blurb, we're here to bring you another episode with a guest, not just any other guest, but we have James Graves. Welcome everybody.
Whoa.
What's up, gentlemen?
Yeah, dude, that was a good
live
little
audience.
That was a good little flow into that one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That
But
was
okay,
good.
so it's Graves, not Gravy, not Garvey, no.
Yeah, it's Graves. Like, I don't know, picture like British people from 5,000 years ago or something. Just real, maybe not 5,000, maybe like 500.
Yeah, what am I picturing here? What are they gonna James Graves.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is kind of a real
It's like
English
such
name.
a proper English name, you
Yeah.
know?
I think for those of you who don't know James, but you take some of, because I had a buddy ask me like, oh, well, who's James? And I was like, dude, he just takes some of the most dramatic photos I've ever seen sometimes at Club Loose, where like you're looking at the photo and you're like,
I feel the
like,
same way about
you know
that.
what I mean? You capture a moment in there where it's like very emotional type of photo. So I'm like, yeah, well, go check out his Instagram.
Well, thank you. Thank
Yeah.
you.
Then I
Yeah.
check it, and now you started something else. It called are we allowed to talk about this?
Yeah, yeah.
But it's called
Motorcar Media Co.
Motorcar Media Co.
Yeah. Officially went live a little over a year ago. Doing pretty well. It was just me kind of wanting to formalize what I do. Also kind of a rebrand outside of like the drifting world and the sort of enthusiast world, more, I guess, like collector based, but also just sort of anything that's rare, interesting, valuable, the stuff that you don't necessarily see on the internet. Like I work with a lot of brokers and stuff that sell, build, buy pre-war Grand Prix race cars, stuff like that. Stuff that an entire generation doesn't really know about because it's not on the internet. Like all the dudes who are into this stuff, they're all like pencil and paper dudes in their like 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, you know, like there's an entire subculture that nobody really knows about because it's just not on the internet.
Wow. That's some crazy shit. Can we bring up that Instagram?
2.5 minutes into the podcast, and we have the most info we've ever received. So pre-war supercar, like race cars. So
Yeah. Before F1 was even called F1, back when it was just the Grand Prix.
yeah, this is exactly what I was looking at.
Okay, these
But-
photos are crazy already.
Well, it's James. Come on, man.
What?
Does this not encapsulate what I just said? It's like
Yeah, the one on
most,
the right there.
The most. Yeah. What? I just got up.
Yeah, so that's a
Looked at my garage.
Lotus 7 from the 60s. Death Trap. Death Trap. and a
I
half.
bet.
That's
I
so
bet.
sick.
I bet. I bet.
That's
Oh,
like-
love it though.
If you're familiar at all with like Caterham, I
Yeah.
don't know, this is basically like
The
what
Super 7.
Caterham was.
Yeah, is this not what this is?
Yeah, this is what the Caterham 7 is based off of, basically. And this specific one belonged to Lex DuPont, member of, you know, the very affluent, well-known DuPont family. He drove it around England. It was like his daily driver. So
Fuck.
that's what I'm saying. When
How do
they're-
you meet these people?
Yeah, no, what? We're over here hanging out with fucking. Look, what are we doing?
The craziest part is it's got 16 likes on it, and this is probably the coolest car I've ever seen in my life.
This deserves more. Like, no, it's just the photos too. It's just.
Yeah.
I don't know. You get to see. Okay, first of all, Malcolm, can you go back to the one with the that cut? That cut ain't perfect. In today's standard, somebody's gonna call you like a butcher for that.
Yeah.
But probably back then, that's
They were just,
maybe as good as you could have gotten it. You know
Yeah,
what I
I
mean?
don't
Like they
even
were
know.
cutting it with a template.
Yeah, they were
not
feeling it
even.
out.
They were just.
I don't even know. My only guess is probably that the car, like that's right where the carbs are. So the car might have at one point had some different carbs that
Had a stack or something?
Yeah, yeah. And then it went and got these side intake carbs on it that are under that shroud there.
That 2-piece flare is also crazy. I love looking at the like glass and stuff like that. Like that is a sheet of glass that they just found like they made a frame for.
Probably. Yeah.
Look at the linkage. Look at where the shifter and shit is. Like what the fuck?
The windshield looks like an afterthought.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The trans tunnel looks like an afterthought. Look at that. Bro, the trans is like above the tunnel.
Hand built in England in the 60s.
And it's still running.
That's the vibe. Oh, this one's not
crazy.
running.
Okay, that makes more sense. That makes more sense.
Yeah. Nobody said anything about it
Yeah,
running.
built in England. Yeah, there's no way it's running.
Like this is kind of the stuff that I love. I mean, I love everything. Cars are it, and you can ask anybody that knows me. Cars are it. But like I said, there's an entire world out there of this kind of stuff that nobody knows about, and this is like a car that you could rock up to a Cars and Coffee with, and you'd get as much attention as like a 911 GT3, maybe more. You know, it's just interesting stuff, and it's the stuff that will really, really, really kill you if it goes wrong.
Yeah.
Like, no roll cage, no anything. Like, the seat that you see there is the seat. There's no seat belts, like no bolstering, anything. That's a car that you would take out on the track.
And this is also this is something that you would for some reason see driving through the streets of South Plainfield in New Jersey. That is insane. Like when you ever see anybody driving like an old car on the road lately? I see a lot of them.
This is like a go-kart though.
You're not driving. Maybe you're not driving this one on the road. Maybe.
I mean, I hope someone is, but it's so crazy.
If you do, I hope you got some belts or something. According to James, this shit is pretty.
So how did you find this car?
So
there was this guy.
So going back, it is a guy. Yeah, going back several years. I initially got into the collector car thing because I know a guy who knows a guy. More or less, I went to school with these two dudes. They were a year above me, and they went on to start a collector car business in Philly called LBI Limited. And I didn't hear about LBI Limited until many years later. These guys graduated from my school in 2007. I didn't know them personally, but I knew of them, and I had friends who were friends with them. So like 10 years goes by, I'm working as a full-time salaried in-house jewelry photographer for this company in Philly. And we had a shoot that was happening, social shoot we called them. We'd have a model come in, she'd wear all the jewelry, and we'd photograph it. Our makeup artist dropped out last minute, like the morning of, had an emergency, something like that. And this was going to be a 2-day shoot, so it was like a big deal. We needed somebody there. So our backup makeup artist ended up being the wife of one of the guys who started LBI Limited. And I heard her talking to my producer about cars, and my ears perked up a little bit. So I'm like, hey, like, what's going on here? And so she's chatting with me. She's like, oh, yeah, you got to, like, meet my husband, like, blah, blah, blah. And she gives me his name, and I'm like, this name sounds so familiar to me. Why does this sound familiar? And I go home that night, and I'm researching it, and I'm like, Andrew. Holy shit, I went to school with this guy.
Yeah.
Whoa. So the next day I come back to her, and I'm like, can you put me in touch with him? Like, it's crazy that this is happening. Like a decade later, come back full circle on this. And I'm like, holy hell, that's cool. So I went there, checked it out. They were like a full operation, big storage space, all of that in Northeast Philly in Frankfurt. And so met with those guys. They didn't really have a position for me at the time. They were just starting to get together their Midwest building out in Pontiac, Michigan. They were like, well, if you want to move to Pontiac, like, we need a guy out there. And I was like, it's not really in the cards right now,
It's a little far from us at the moment.
Yeah. But their photographer, Nick, started throwing me work on the side. He ran his own thing. And after the pandemic happened, I really had a lot of time. So Nick started throwing me work on the side. And it was like a lot of collector car stuff. He would shoot for RM Sotheby's, Bonhams, all the big auction houses. Mm-hmm. So I went out to this shop out in Amish country called DL George, and I shot an Alfa Romeo for them. And then like that was cool. The owner, David George, like showed me around the shop. Super nice guy, super duper into it. Like his dad started the business, and his dad had unfortunately passed away like a year before we met. So we call him Deej. That's his like nickname. Deej was just kind of like taking over the business from his dad. He already knew everything that he had to do to run it and all of that, and he was really good at it. So shot this Alpha for Deej. He showed me around, super nice guy. And then I wasn't sure if we were ever going to cross paths again. Then a couple years went by, and I'm photographing a gig at this other big car storage facility on the main line called Car Vault, and it was like a holiday party. And I look across the way, and I see this guy that looks kind of familiar to me, and he starts like strolling across the green. The whole facility is like turfed because it was like an indoor sports facility.
I was about to ask, like, what is this, a yard you're walking across?
Yeah, it's an indoor sporting facility that these storage people bought out, and they turned the back end of it into regular self-storage. And the front is this place called Car Vault, and it's car storage and like a social club.
Yeah, so, I think I heard of this one.
Yeah, it's fairly new. They've been doing their thing for like 2 years now. But I see this guy, and he's walking up to me, and he's like, "Hey, you look kind of familiar to me." And I'm like, "You look familiar to me too, but I don't know from where." And it like clicked for both of us. And we're like, "Oh my God, DL George." It's like, yo. So we reconnected there. And this was like December of 2022. And Deej is like, "Hey, I have work. You know, I need a photographer. Do you want to like shoot for me?" I was like, "Cool." So started going out to his shop. I'm usually there like once a month or so, and come out and shoot for the day, whatever he needs to get done. So this little Lotus was part of his kind of inventory that he has. And that's where a lot of the other like pre-war kind of stuff does come from. They do mostly mid-century, like pre-war to early post-war race cars. That's kind of what their vibe is.
Is there a large market for stuff like that?
It's not large.
It sounds like a secret club that we're talking about. The way that, like, are you getting that vibe? Like, I feel like we shouldn't be talking about it, but like, just because I'm looking at this photo.
I'm looking at these fenders, and they look like motorcycle fenders too.
Oh yeah, that shit right there is the front fender of a fucking Sporty. Yeah. But in the back one is a 6-inch chopper fender.
Yeah,
that's an 8-inch chopper fender.
Yeah, it's basically a motorcycle with 4 wheels.
Yeah,
yeah.
But so no,
cool.
Like the way that we're talking about it, like almost like can't. Don't.
But
I mean, these are the kind of things that are hiding in these car storage places.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like, and we don't know anything about this stuff. So it's like, what is it?
And
like,
these people just buy these cars and they don't even drive them. They just like look at them and.
Yeah, you'd be surprised. Some of this stuff gets toured around. There's a big tour in Colorado called the Colorado Grand. They just take stuff like this and they drive it around for like a week.
Can we type that in, Malcolm? I would
like
love to.
1,000 miles on old cars. And I don't know how they do it because I've ridden in some of these like pre-war Grand Prix race cars, stuff like this, and even less developed than this. I mean, a lot of the Grand Prix stuff I've been in is, 30 years older than this. But like,
this is cool. I'm sorry, Malcolm. Thank you, Malcolm. Just Googled up some photos of the Colorado Grand.
Yep. So
we need to do this with D cars, bro. Come on.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if it'd be as cool though. Look
the Colorado Grand, but everything is lowercase except for the D, so it's like the Colorado Grand D.
Hey, if you get a squad going, like whatever you're driving, it's cool.
Hey, we had a buddy recently moved to Colorado. Shout out Andy. He's
Dude,
in the
how much is
Aurora
that
area.
Benz right there? I want to know how much that is.
Dude, the Gullwing?
SL Gullwing?
Probably a lot.
That's at least $1 million car.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Props to them for taking it out and driving it.
Yeah.
I don't know why he's dressed like a Nazi, but yeah. Oh, that's a cop. Never mind. Same thing.
That Bentley right next to it, that green car there, that's probably close to $1 million as well.
What?
Yeah. Yeah, this stuff, it like, you're not wrong. It's kind of a secret society because
what the fuck?
all the people with this stuff, they're not on social media,
Oh yeah, they don't even know how to work a phone. Look at that guy.
Dude, that Speedster, Malcolm, can you go back up to that white Speedster? It's the 2-door Porsche right there. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm whipping right there.
I've driven a 356 Cabriolet. They are super comfy.
It's
They're
just
super
compared to
fun.
the other stuff
Yeah.
that I'm seeing.
Yeah.
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 And that looks so cool. Look how close the wheels are, dude. The wheels are pretty big for the size of the car.
Yeah, dude. I don't know. I kind of like the. Go back up, Mel.
What would you drive in this shit?
Oh, right there on the right. Down. That thing right there.
That's the what was that? The Bentley you just pointed
Bentley's
out?
Bentley.
Yeah.
Yeah, I need a Bentley.
Yeah, I'm smoking you. I'm smoking
Or go up, Malcolm. That middle one right there. Up.
That
Right?
is- yeah.
That car in the
Maserati.
middle. What's that one in the middle?
Oh, the silver one?
That's a Cobra.
that thing.
Is that really?
Yeah.
Am I? Maybe
Or a
maybe because
Corvette,
it's
I don't
missing the
know.
glass.
It's probably a recreation Cobra.
But there's no windshield, or am I blind right now?
There's a little tiny windshield.
Oh,
I think
good,
it's a
good,
Cobra.
good. There's a
I
tiny
could be
one.
wrong, honestly. Like a lot of these cars look so similar from
Yeah.
certain angles, especially when you're looking at a photo like this.
And that's what they say about the cars nowadays. So
Yeah.
obviously nothing's changed.
This is the
even though
type-
we think it has.
I'm wearing them. You know what
got
I
it.
mean?
Oh, the goggles.
Yeah,
You
dude,
got
I'm rocking the goggles.
Yeah, you have to. You absolutely have.
Let's
Like
see
this
another
one, the
one from here,
windscreen's
though.
a little larger.
Yeah.
I feel like I could hide from
That
the wind.
Ferrari right there.
Oh,
Yes.
yeah, that looks fantastic.
512 BBI.
All
the
original.
70s.
Well, I would hope.
Is this is this the Magnum PI car?
No.
What's Magnum PI drive?
Oh, I always get Magnum PI and the other guy mixed up. One's a Testarossa.
It's
And
not that. It's not
A
that.
308 GTS. There's Magnum PI and who's the other guy? Miami Vice? Are they the same? There's two.
Why do I feel like Miami Vice would have a Testarossa that's white?
I think Vice is the Testarossa.
You're gonna have to help him out, Malcolm.
I think he's already doing it here. Oh, no. Miami Vice car, I guess, if you don't mind. We don't ever look up Ferrari stuff or anything of the like over here. This is not. It was totally not. Oh, no, there is. And the Ferrari Testarossa.
Yeah. I don't know about a Daytona being in Miami Vice, but Testarossa, yes. Testarossa is it.
There it is on the right. That white Testarossa.
Yeah. The white Testarossa.
Oh wow.
Oh, yeah. Dude, that's a 180SX.
So that's a 70s car. Damn.
Was it really?
That's what it
Testarossas
says.
were, I think, late 70s, early 80s. There's 3 iterations of the Testarossa. So there's the OG, and then there's the 512 TR, and then there's the F512M.
Is there a 90s one too?
Yeah, that's the F512M.
Okay.
Those are the really expensive ones.
F512M. What was
Yeah.
really the difference between that and what we're looking at here? Because
So-
I had a bunch of these cars as like toys.
The TR, the 512 TR, got some updates that made it a little better drivability wise. They dropped the engine down a little lower in the subframe area, engine compartment, give it a little better weight balance and all of that. The F512M got a lot of stuff like titanium connecting rods in the engine, probably some other titanium bits here and there.
Damn.
The 512M also doesn't have pop-ups. It's got standard headlights.
Oh.
And I believe they're actually Z32 headlights. I'm pretty sure.
Oh. No, I know.
512M?
Lamborghini has those headlights for sure.
Can we type that in, Malcolm? Ferrari 512M. We got you working
Yeah.
overtime, and by we, I mean me.
512M is the most expensive of the 3. You can get a Testarossa for
What the hell?
under 200, maybe even around 100. But 512M, you're looking at north of $500,000.
What the fuck is this? I feel like I've never seen this before.
That thing's cool looking though.
Yeah, they are. I actually just photographed one that looked just like this.
Yeah, that thing's sick.
That's
Yeah.
also 180SX
They're
with the
cool
Super
cars.
Dupe covers.
They're very cool cars. The last Ferrari with a flat 12. So,
Oh, that probably sounds...
Flat 12?
That probably
Yeah.
sounds so good. Are you
Yeah.
kidding me?
they sound real cool.
12?
They
What
sound
the
real cool.
fuck?
Gated shifter, all the Ferrari quirks you'd expect. Like the steering wheel is right in front of you, and then all the pedals are like 6 inches to the right. So you have to drive.
Why?
Oh my God, I'm looking at it right now.
Why
Yeah.
is it like that?
What?
What?
Because the wheels are so tucked in? Like, why is it like that?
Partially because the wheels are so tucked in, also because everything is behind you. So they have to make all the linkage to everything go from the front of the car to the back. Like shifter, pedals, all of that stuff. It all has to make it to the rear of the car.
That looks so ridiculous.
Now, Frankie, I don't mean to relate this
To what?
To my 2002
You shouldn't.
Lexus IS 300.
Okay, but
But that
going
is
there.
exactly how I sit in my car. I'm like this.
Your car's like that too?
Yeah.
That's because it was crashed into, though.
No, the seat bracket is mounted a little fucked up.
I mean, even if you look at like an E36, the steering wheel column
nothing
doesn't
lines up.
go straight.
Yeah.
Does it really not
Yeah.
either?
I mean,
No.
even my Chevy Silverado is like off center.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everything is.
Yeah.
Well, at that point, you're just rearranging your feet. You're just
no, but like the
moving like
seat, the seat's not even in line with the steering wheel in my truck.
Yeah.
Like you'll look at it and you're like, wait a minute.
Because that got hidden too.
I mean, it definitely did, but that's not the reason. But I've
gets-
seen that in a lot of cars.
This looks a bit extreme.
No,
I'm
that's
not,
extreme.
I'm not even going to hold you. That first photo that Malcolm took.
That's crazy.
What the fuck are we doing here, bro?
That's
That
crazy.
looks insane.
It's
Like-
wild getting in these cars because you get in it and you feel like you're sitting on the ground. Like you're so low and there's no power steering. So you're just like, little like go-kart car, you know?
Yeah.
It's crazy. But like the funniest part is like you get in and you put your foot down where you think the brake is and you're like stepping on the clutch and you're like, oops, kind of move that over.
Rearrange, and then you
Yeah.
could probably get used to it.
You do, I'm sure
Yeah.
you do.
Click
I
that,
don't- I
that
don't
back
notice
one, Malk. Right, you were just on it. That one. That thing's sick.
That's a 180SX.
Kind of
Yes.
is.
That's literally a 180SX.
Yeah.
Those are cokey tail lights.
Look at the vents. The vents on the sides are crazy. The
and that's
gills.
a car modified
Yeah.
kit.
Yeah, literally.
The strafes. That's like the kind of defining
Yeah.
piece on the Testarossa, that side profile with the strafes all along the.
That's not on. That's not on
strafes.
every single one, is it?
On all the Testarossa
It is?
models. Yeah, yeah.
And
So
man,
even the '70s ones.
Yep, yeah. So if it's a Testarossa, if it's in that family, it's got the little side vents on it.
that you don't. Yeah, them little
Whoa,
holes on the side.
That
Yeah,
color
that
looks good.
that
And they're
right there.
functional too. The intake ducts for the radiator are right here. So it's not even just for show.
And that's a flat 12, you said?
Yep.
That makes
Yeah.
sense. Look how flat the back end of that car.
Yeah, that shit is probably.
It just looks like it should be in there.
Yeah.
Can you look at the engine?
It's got a
Malcolm?
hell
Look
of
at
an
the-
engine in there.
This is turning into just a automotive car
Education
yeah, exactly.
podcast because what do we know about this? Thank God James is here.
Damn,
I've never,
that's cool.
oh my bell housing, bro. I'll drop that trans in 30. What? You could get all the bolts.
You have to too, because the
Why?
biggest thing with Ferraris up until like the late 90s, engine out service every like 5,000 miles.
What the
Every
fuck?
5,000
Why?
miles.
Yeah.
What are they doing?
Get the
Oil
fuck-
New
changing?
belts, pulleys, all that stuff.
5,000 miles?
For a lot of stuff, yeah.
What a piece of shit.
What if I put? What if I? Dude, I'd be the worst Ferrari owner, bro. I would drive that shit every day.
Yeah, you'd be paying for it too.
No, I wouldn't.
Yeah, you would.
I would start fixing it with gum and tape.
I mean, that's
yeah.
kind of how they come from the factory. If you
That's what I'm saying.
look
Like, if,
deep enough in a Ferrari, like when you pay for a Ferrari, you're getting an engine and a transmission. Everything else is extra. Like you look at the welds on a Ferrari, you don't want to.
No way.
Yeah, you don't want to.
That's crazy.
They're amazing to drive. Like it's an experience that you can't put into words, and no amount of just talking about it will do it justice. Like you take a Ferrari out on the highway and you mat it, and you hear the scream coming out of it, and then you like grab the shifter and you click it into the next gear. It's just like there's nothing like it.
Dude,
It is
You make me
don't
want
know.
to drive a Ferrari.
crazy experience.
yeah, but then all I'm thinking in my head is I'm like, can I replicate that experience and give myself that feeling with anything else? And the answer.
Not an IS300.
Yeah,
I can tell you
yes,
that.
it is. The other day when my hood flew up, I got a pretty good feeling about it. I put it right in the fourth, not a gated shifter, but it's a manual, and then the hood flew up.
That's how you match the exhileration of a
That
Ferrari.
shit gave me feelings that I've not felt in a while.
Did you pee a little?
No.
Oh.
A feeling of anger just went from my toes right up to my fingers, dude. It was like, fuck.
And you were like, Derek left the hood open. I know it. I know it.
Nah,
Derek left it open.
he said, don't forget to latch this. And then I forgot it.
I would say like S2000.
Yeah.
Not entirely comparable, but
That
there's
thing is
not a
sick
lot of
to
cars
drive.
out there that you can just like rev the nuts off of them
Yep.
and they just ask for more.
That's so funny because I had a car get dropped off to me the other day that had his buddy who picked him up had an S2000. I remembered mine And I was like, damn,
That engine is sick.
that
Yeah.
was seeing that tack go all the way up to 9. And I was like, when, like, you know what I mean? Like, you're almost like maybe I should just shift now. But you can literally
All the way.
take it all the way to the
Yep.
to the end.
Got to
All the
do
way.
it.
9,200 or something like that. Just, and it sounds like you don't even want to be up there sometimes.
Yeah, I forget. There's AP1 and AP2.
AP1 revs higher.
Yes.
AP1 revs higher. AP2
AP2
got more torque though. Because it went from a 2 liter to a 2.2.
Yeah,
And it looks
then-
better.
No.
AP2.
AP1 with 16s and a hard top.
16s?
AP1 16s hard top, white. Yep, on the spoon wheels. Good.
Yeah, one has an electronic throttle body and one doesn't, right? Or are they both?
Probably.
I don't know that much more about them. I knew all the weird stuff, like cam driven. It was like a single cam for both the cams. Like there was a chain that drove the one gear that drove the 2 cams. Like, or whatever, vice versa. But that looked super weird in the front.
Sounds like Audi, but more reliable.
And there's also you want to check your tensioner, cam
Yeah.
chain tensioner or some shit for the front. You need that.
I remember the AP2 was just the better one, but the problem was the AP1 revved higher.
But it sounds.
I
pretty
don't
good
remember
still.
why.
Still,
It's not by much. It's like 300 RPM. or
yeah,
something.
it's like still very good.
Yeah.
Like, and
Yeah, I would just put a tune on the AP2 and have it rev 300.
Yeah.
dude, the weirdest thing to me about those cars, and similarly the Honda Fit, is how quick the steering rack is.
Yeah.
You turn the wheel in an S2000 or a Honda Fit, and you feel it like this, and then all of a sudden you're like, "Ugh," like, oh my god, like what the fuck? Like the rack is so quick.
Yeah. The rear suspension on those too is it like I think it toes in as it compresses. So they're really easy to end up spinning when you lift off. They'll just throw you.
Yeah, that's why a lot of people don't drift them, right? I think that was,
Yeah. Actually, I have a buddy who had one. It was his first car. He was like, "Hey, I'm looking to get a sports car. Can you help me out? I don't know anything about cars." This was like 2020. So he found an S2K in Egg Harbor Township, New Jersey. He couldn't even drive stick yet. So he was like, "Will you come with me to get this car?" He brought like $15K in cash in like a little, fanny pack. And we went and looked at this car. It was, I forget what year S2K it was, if it was an AP1 or AP2, but it was all modded out. It had been resprayed in that like dark burgundy that you could get on like Nissan Altimas, like
What the
real dark
fuck?
burgundy. It looked good though. It looked good. In the wrong light, it looked like black, but in the right light, it was like a deep, deep, deep like red wine. Had like the spoon trunk fender or trunk cover, whatever thing, like the tail section, the spoon like tail section had hardcover top. So it was just like a coupe, no convertible to it or anything. BC Racing coilovers that were like rock hard. Enki RPF 1s and I think a short shifter kit in it. And my buddy got the seller to like drive the car all the way back to Philly for him. And then like the next few weeks we spent a couple hours each like in South Philly, me just like teaching him how to drive the car in parking lots. And he would like come down to me once he like got it right and could figure it out. And I remember one of the first times that he brought the car down to my place, I was like living in Delco at the time because my wife was doing her like internship at Crozier. We were living in Delco. My buddy brings the S2K down and we take it out on the highway and we're getting on the highway and I'm just like letting it eat like $9,000 second gear, drop it into third, just like ripping. And we're going down the on-ramp and like we hit like a bump and the car was set up so badly.
Yeah, they just
Like
God.
rock hard.
Oh, no.
He like put the suspension on like the softest setting and it was still rock hard because you had like this much fender gap, So like you had no travel option. And you'd like hit a bump in this thing and your only hope was to keep your foot in it because otherwise it was just gonna like bump steer sideways and like throw you.
Dude.
So like it was a riot. It was an absolutely hilarious death trap of a car.
Was there nitrous in it?
No.
When I had
Sounded like car my friend built.
When I had my S2000, the problem that I had that would do that, and the only reason why I know how terrible that probably felt is because when I got mine, it was super duper low. And then apparently the S2000 is one of those cars, just like the IS, where if you don't get it aligned and it's really low like that, it's just going to pull left, right, forward, back, whatever, like, and throw you around when you hit the bump because the suspension is just like.
Yeah, if you don't have roll center correction or anything going like that, it's like the suspension doesn't.
Well, just generally, just like if it's not aligned, it will fucking just toss you. And then another thing that I was having was that if I was accelerating and the car was that low, which I ended up pulling it back up, it would vibrate like fuck because you needed to get axle spacers. Because the axles are super duper pulled like this when you lower an S2000. So I just raised it back up to stock. It was cool. I did some donuts in mine. Like, it was not that great. It was not like a car that you would just let go of the wheel and just let it drift. You would have to like.
I mean, no one
spin
really
it and
drifts
grab
that car. Like, literally no one drifts that car.
I had a buddy named Nino who did. He had a blue one, supercharged now.
Like, for real drifted it?
Yeah. Like at Poconos.
Really?
Yeah.
They're worth too much money now.
It's very expensive. Nino's car is very,
that's
very
probably
nice.
another reason why, I guess.
Yeah, I think what's the Club Racer edition, the CR?
Oh, the CR, yeah.
Those are worth like, I don't know, $100,000 now or something.
Yeah,
What?
but anything
Yeah.
with a number though, you know.
Yeah.
What, there's only how many of those?
I don't know. I'm not a Honda person, but there was not a lot.
No.
I'll tell you that much.
They're cool though. Factory spoiler and all that.
Yeah.
And a lot of them are yellow from the factory, which is awesome.
Dude,
I love yellow
man,
cars.
cool. Yeah. And not a lot of like things like I think that one doesn't have AC. I might be mistaken, but there's also like an option where there's no roof.
Imagine paying
Like,
$100,000
generally?
for a car with no AC.
No, I think generally there's no roof because there's a tonneau cover that's matched.
So
to
they
the
try to
car.
make it light.
So it makes it look really cool with the tonneau cover. I don't know how light it is. but-
Malcolm's going shopping right now over there. See him? Okay, good.
Yeah.
They're not too bad yet.
They might have come down, or
That's still bad, but-
Yeah,
I'm telling you,
depends
there's
on how
no
many miles.
there's no roof on that motherfucker, like a retractable.
Does it come with
No.
a hard top?
I don't know if it comes with a hard top. It comes with a soft top that
Okay.
you can flip up. But at that point, you basically
I would.
don't
I
have a
mean,
roof.
I would love that in blue.
Nah,
That'd be
I-
the one I get.
I feel like the CR don't got a roof.
He
I
probably
think
put
it's
it on.
I think it's just a tonneau cover.
I wouldn't be surprised.
That I think so. Oh.
Oh
and
wait,
In place of the standard soft top. Yeah. Dude, I saw one of those brand new in the dealer when I was a kid.
damn.
I was like, what the heck is this? Why would you want to take the roof off? Like, now it looks like I like
Well,
that
they come with soft tops, right?
yeah, but I like that they put the tonneau cover. Do you know what the tonneau cover is? The thing on the back that covers
That covers the soft top.
Yeah, S13
down?
S13 Verts have them too.
Oh, so that was on there. It came on there.
Yeah. Instead of
Can
the
you find like
soft
an OEM one, Malcolm, or like
that was an OEM one.
no, that was a hard top?
That was OEM.
I'm confused. I thought you
Hey,
said it came with
OEM
That was an OEM hard top.
OEM hard top.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like an OEM CR, like
Yeah, that's an OEM CR.
oh, it comes with that. Okay,
But the normal cars don't.
no, they come with a soft top.
No.
And we might be somebody might out there might correct us and say they didn't even come with the hard top. Some like that might have been an option for the CR. God knows
Yeah,
what. I don't know.
that's what I'm thinking.
You know how much an S2000 OEM hard top is right now? Shit's like $4,000, $4,500. It's
I mean,
nuts.
that's a non-negotiable part.
Crazy.
Though.
You
Like,
gotta just
need to have
keep one
that part.
around in case your buddy comes and sleeps over. Give him a cover to sleep under.
Yep, that's perfect.
Yeah.
Dude, James, I feel like you would have you're an S2000 guy. You would have an S2000.
Dude, I've never owned a Honda.
But that one though, it's just like a race bred
That's probably the one I
type
would
of
want.
machine. Yeah.
I've considered dropping an F20C in my E36, but I don't know. It'd be
What?
cool.
Why? What?
Why not?
Is that a swap? Is that like a
It could be if you have enough money.
Oh, okay. But this hasn't been done yet. This is just
No.
like an inspirational thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's a lot of inspirational things going on up here with my E36. I don't know what's going to happen. I think at this point, I want to keep it fairly like it is. The first iteration was going to get a 2J, That was 2019 when 2Js weren't, 15 grand or whatever.
Yeah.
And then the iteration that stuck for a while that I don't really think I want to do anymore because it'll ruin the balance of the car was get a 5.3 and drop that in. And that's a 323 cubic inch displacement. And then put 323 CI badging on the back of the car. They never made a 323 CI E36.
Okay.
And I'd just like catch out all the nerds that would be like, it's the wrong badge. And then
But
you
is that-
start it up and it just like,
Is that an aluminum block or is that
5.3? I don't actually know.
probably would be aluminum, right?
don't-
It's a newer one
I
we're
don't,
talking about?
I don't know
5.3s,
anything.
they're like the ones that you'd find in like Tahoes and everything else.
That's
so,
a LQ, LT,
Oh, it probably is a fucking iron block.
LQ, LQ9.
Yeah.
Dude, that shit sounds like a truck
That
motor.
shit would be heavy as fuck.
Every
Yeah.
time one of those V8s drive by me or on grid or on track, you're driving with one, it's LQ. I'm like, what is that sound? It sounds like,
What, you can... So, but isn't it almost the same as an LS1?
dude, there's
some
something
shit.
about the way it sounds. It
they're
just
like in the
sounds,
family.
yeah.
It's like, I don't know. I'm not a V8 guy. I don't know the whole like delineation,
You're
but
about to put one in the Beamer.
you just do shit and then you figure it out as you go, Like, that's all it is, man.
Let's be honest. You're a WRX. You're a Subaru person. You're a
Yeah,
WRX person.
I am. Yeah. I've had my WRX for 7.5 years. I bought it off my buddy Nate. It was his kind of like gift to himself when he graduated from college. We were roommates freshman year of college. So I've known Nate for, I don't know, 3/4 of 2 decades now. What's that, 15 years?
Damn.
Dude.
It's a long way to say 15 years. But, so it was his car. And the whole way that I like got into wanting one of these was I had my best friend's family had like a 97 Outback when I was like 17, 18. And I just loved the way it drove. I think before that, even I was kind of into like the sound of the Subarus and all of that.
Yeah.
But I really liked how smooth it was. Like the flat four just like doesn't have all the traditional vibration of like, inline four or anything like that. Super smooth. It drove nice. The all wheel drive is great. So I was like, I really want a turbocharged Subaru. I was like, these things are cool, man. They sound like nothing else. Like you hear it and you're like,
That's how they get you.
that's a
So the
Subaru.
one outside is yours?
Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense. I was like, what the hell is this thing doing here? No, I'm just kidding. They come through here from time to time.
Yeah.
Brian.
I hear them whenever I'm at home. Can always tell when one goes by.
I do like the Subaru sound when it's an equal length header. Is that a thing?
Yeah, it
when
sounds like an Evo then.
When you get rid of the rumble.
Yeah.
You like it when you get rid of the rumble?
Yeah, like he likes it when it doesn't sound like a Subaru.
But I do know I had to think about what you meant by when it's like how smooth it is,
Yeah.
because it kind of do feel a little different.
It does feel
Do you know
different.
what I'm talking about? Try to
Yeah.
picture it right now. You're driving a Subaru, you rev it from first, second to third, just like you're driving into town, and like for some reason,
Well, yeah, I mean-
it don't do like the. I don't know. I know what you mean by it's smoother.
That's why it's called a boxer, because on
Yeah, they're opposed.
one side, they're opposed as it's different than like the timing on like say a 180 degree V4 would be. So it's like on one side, like when one piston is going out, the other piston is going out,
So
and
it's like
vice versa.
stable.
So they always cancel out. So like-
versus like in one of ours, it's like
exactly.
like
Yeah.
fucking-
That's why like so many inline
were the piston right
fours.
there.
Yeah. One cylinder. Which cylinder are you? 1, 2, 3, or 4?
I don't. That might have been 3. I think it's just out of time slightly.
But tell us about the 2J. That thing's kind of smooth, right?
Yeah, because dude, how would that work then? Because the JZ line and a lot of the UZ line of motors, right?
Yeah.
It's like I have this thing where somebody told me, not somebody, but I was watching somewhere, and somebody told me that the Toyota line of motors, like the UZ and the JZ motors, are very balanced.
Yes.
So like,
Also,
is that
naturally,
what that
straight sixes are pretty.
is? That what that?
Balanced
But
too.
but
Straight
yet
sixes-
it's doing, you know.
Yeah, it's just the firing order and the amount of cylinders. I
Straight
guess.
sixes, from my general understanding, is when 2 pistons are going up, 2 pistons are going down, and then 2 pistons are like basically right in the middle of the cylinder. So they kind of always keep themselves balanced that way. Whereas like a 4-cylinder, a lot of 4-cylinders need a counterbalance weight somewhere in the crankshaft
crank,
area. Yeah. I know, like, I had a Mazda 4 before my WRX.
What the heck is that?
Or Mazda 3, sorry.
Oh, I was
4-cylinder Mazda 3.
What is that?
Yeah, no, there's no Mazda 4. I'm just making stuff. And a mod that some people would do, a controversial mod, was to delete the balance shaft.
Oh, that's smart.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I never
So
did
let's
that.
like make the crank.
Let's just change what the engineers did.
What?
Yeah.
What is it? What was the purpose?
I think it was to eliminate
Reduce weight?
Yeah, rotating mass.
So get like a lightened flywheel or something.
Get rid of this shit.
Yeah.
Get
That's what I did. My Mazda 3 had a lightweight flywheel and a stage 1 clutch in it. It felt great.
It was a
Dude, those-
4-cylinder?
Yeah.
The
Those
V6
cars-
ones would just blow out left and right. That's all I remember.
Yeah, I don't know too much about the V6.
The V6 Mazda 3, that shit would blow up left and right.
Oh wait, no. I'm
the
thinking
Mazda
about
6?
Is it that one?
The 3 didn't have a V6 in it.
Okay, then the Mazda
6 did.
6.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You get a V6 Mazda 6.
Yeah, that shit was terrible. I knew people with those things, all the motors blew up.
But they had a turbo V6 one, didn't they?
I don't know about
They
that.
did.
They had a Speed 6.
Yes,
I don't
and
remember.
it had a turbo.
Are you
think.
sure?
It was a turbo 4-cylinder, though.
Yeah,
It's
I don't
the same
think- I don't think the
4-cylinder out of
V6
the
had
Speed
Oh
3.
shit.
But
Okay.
the Speed 6 was kind of a tragedy. They only made the Speed 6 for 06 and 07.
I wonder why.
And they were all-wheel drive. They were actually, like, very slept on. Like,
It looked like a really the
Bro, I would
Speed
never buy
6
one of those.
Dude, when I was looking for a first car, I thought the Speed 6 looked cool, but I also thought the RX-8 looked really
Ooh,
cool.
yeah, RX-8 's
So
nice.
similarly, they've had the bubbly fenders and the RX or the Speed 6 like was pretty proportional. Like it
Yeah.
had a short trunk, long hood.
Dude, the RX-8 looks way better than the Speed 6.
Bro,
Come
bro,
on,
bro.
dude.
I don't know.
Malcolm,
that-
do you mind?
Way
that
better.
generation of Mazda 6, they kind of...
That was
They look
fire.
kinda good.
It was so
Yeah, it makes
nice.
it
Dude,
sound-
RX-8? RX-8 looks sick.
What are
Yeah,
you?
but, like, you don't have to replace the apex seals.
You don't have to replace the engine in the Mazda 6.
Okay, look how good this thing looked.
No.
Yes.
Are you kidding me?
Yes.
Malcolm, chime in.
No.
Yeah, looks cool.
Yeah.
Looks kind of like an Evo.
Look how small the lights are.
Evo?
Yeah,
Stop.
look at the proportions. You got, like, the short trunk.
That looks like a Saab.
It kind of
Little
looks
Saab,
like
little Evo.
like an American car or something.
Oh, like a
Well, they-
GTO.
They were owned
Something
by
like
Ford. Or not owned, but, like, Ford had a controlling stake in Mazda.
Isn't this a Mondeo? Isn't this a Mondeo?
I think you might be right.
You saying that I would not make up that this is a Mondeo.
My Mazda 3 had a lot of Ford parts on it.
I would believe it.
Yeah.
Dude, Frankie, look at the cow. Look at the
literally
look at
no.
the cow.
I'm trying my hardest and I don't see it. Now that's a car
Now,
right
that,
there.
that looks good.
Yep,
Yes,
that
but
silver
the,
one right there.
But the Mazda
Yup.
Speed 3, that's
Sick.
fire. Hard on the
Yeah.
veil sign.
I still
or racing
want.
line?
Ganadors.
I still want an RX-8. Not gonna lie. Still
RX-8s
want
are
one.
awesome, man.
You seem like a pretty intelligent guy. You need an RX-8.
I'm glotting for punishment, I guess.
Everybody we know who is pretty intelligent, who's an engineer,
Yeah, they love-
or thinks like
they
an
love getting
engineer.
rotaries.
Rotary.
Yeah. They're cool. And you can make them sound nasty. Like, how a car sounds is one of the, like,
Ooh, what's
defining
that
points
blue
for
one
me.
right there?
Yes,
It's got to sound good.
it's one of the senses in your body where, like,
I like that color.
it will trigger other senses. Like, I don't know, if I hear something, I can almost fucking smell and taste and see it.
Yeah,
like, I'm
right
like,
there,
oh
Malcolm.
yeah,
Yep.
Yeah, it's a good color, too.
dude, that's a
Yeah, R3.
R3, yeah,
That's
Yeah.
one Miyagi had right under the red one.
an R3.
Yep, he had that.
He had an R3.
Yep.
Dude, that's the best RX-8 you could have.
Yep.
What the fuck?
Got rid of that shit.
That shit's actually the only RX-8 that's worth bread right now.
Yeah.
Like, if you were to sell one, like, you know,
The thing that sucked about this one is like no good body kits are fit that because they don't fit the fenders.
what are you talking, dude? Oh,
Yeah.
Body kit.
Only the one before that.
Just slam it.
yeah, I would take that with like a RE Amamiya probably makes something. Oh, look at that! Wow, just like that, lowered a little bit more.
I'll take the one that's not a smiley face in the front.
That's fine,
But they kind of all are. Look at the
dude.
It's
Shout
kind of
out.
a Mazda thing.
Yeah, it's
The
it's a
Miata.
Mazda, but the R3.
Yeah, but
one,
it gets worse like as the years go on.
the
they
R3
get happier.
one.
See?
Look at that one. That one's like
Yeah, they get way happier as the years go on. I don't
Shout
like
out.
it.
My coworker,
Like that one's better.
My coworker took me around in one of like for a little bit in his And this is a fun car.
Yeah.
It is so fucking fun.
One of the coolest sounding cars too.
Yeah, they sound awesome. The little like suicide doors.
Yup.
Yeah.
So cool.
Oh, yeah.
The sunroof, amazing. Any
Yeah.
sunroof that comes out like that when it opens is my favorite.
Swoopy interior. Does that make sense? Like everything is like very
Yeah.
geared.
Isn't this-
I actually
Center-
fucking hated the interior.
Isn't the center like kind of like rotary
Yeah.
shaped?
It's
Yeah.
like a little
Yeah.
triangle guy.
Yeah,
They tried to
yeah.
make everything a rotary.
Yep.
It's so retarded. Look at the fucking circle in the middle.
yeah. Nah, dude.
And then the
like-
shifter's a rotor.
Yeah, the shifter is a triangle. And the dashboard that in every single car is cracked.
Really?
Yeah. They all crack right there on the right in front of
Look
there.
at this stupid e-brake. It's a fucking knife. It's like a
I'm
katana
grabbing
handle.
as long as that thing is
Vacuum
locking
cleaner
it up.
handle.
Yeah, it is a vacuum cleaner.
As
handle.
long as it's locking it up, I'm grabbing the fuck out that thing.
Look at the fucking shift knob. It's a rotor. Look at the seats.
You know what's crazy? That's a S15
Down.
trans in there.
It's called style, sweetie. Look
Left.
it up.
There, rotor.
It can't be bought. But that's a S15 trans, I'm pretty sure.
What?
The rear tail end of that, I'm pretty sure, is an S15 box.
It might be. It might be.
Is
Yeah.
it not? And it shares it with the S2000 as well. Yes. Just the back.
What do you mean the back?
Like the
actual gearbox.
The actual, the
the
actual.
coolest part was the back seats. The center
actual
console went
gearbox.
all the way back.
Right. Kind of like a
Oh, yeah. That shit
Yeah.
like a Bentley for
Yeah.
real.
mini individual seats, chairs, you could even call them.
Yep.
I wonder what was in that little, it's probably the handle.
I'll tell you what. Where?
Right there on the door. It looks like a
That's the
little-
door handle. Yeah.
The door handle.
Yep.
I thought an umbrella might come out of there or something.
Yeah. Right.
Dude, this was a really car that I regrettably did not get to own.
I'm surprised you didn't have one of these.
Yeah,
to be
me too.
honest.
I don't
Me
know
too.
what you can get them for now, but like
Like I feel like
Yeah,
anything
like
Like $4.
cool.
$4
bucks.
They're all blown
4,000.
up.
I know you can get them for like $4,000 with like 100,000 miles on them
Yeah.
or something like that.
But
You
then
don't
you're
wanna buy that
Now
with
you're
100,000 miles.
gambling.
Yeah.
I mean,
you've been
you're
gambling.
You're
I feel
like
you've been gambling.
You're
the
like,
whole time.
okay, I'm tired with the lotto.
I didn't even realize I was gambling until after I bought my WRX. I like bought it and then realized everybody's like head gaskets, rod bearings,
No, but dude, my other friends who are like you, all skate by.
Yeah, because they check their oil.
They do the things
Yes.
that are needed for the car.
Yeah, it's
I
crazy.
put 85,000 miles on mine. Still original transmission, original engine,
Ooh, better
everything.
fucking. That is. What other preventative maintenance have you done though?
All right, so it gets oil changes every 3,000 miles.
3?
Yeah.
Synthetic.
Yeah, modal
Damn.
8100.
Holy crap,
Yep.
dude! Yeah,
Yeah.
that thing's living forever.
Blue OEM filter. A lot of dudes will like swear by like the Tokyo Roki filters and stuff like that. I'm like, OEM's fine, gets the job done. Just follow maintenance, like plugs every 60K.
Make sure there's oil in it.
Make sure there's oil in it. Yeah, check the oil every other time you fill up.
And you take this thing pretty far because obviously your work probably takes you pretty far.
Yeah, I put like 12,000 miles a year on it.
Jesus.
Yeah, yeah, it's fine. It doesn't. I just did a 400-mile trip last weekend and didn't lose a drop of oil.
How many miles are in it?
112. I got it at 28.
So now you are probably looking at the timing belt.
I was
Oh,
done.
yeah.
Did
Oh,
that.
you did that
Did
in
that,
the
like,
water
Did
pump?
that.
Water
Well, because
pump,
that's
timing belt.
100,000 miles. That's
That's
like
90,000 if you're you.
It's 10 years. They say like 10 years or 100K, but we did it early because I did it like when the car was 10 years old. So like 2022. And the tensioner was weeping a little bit. Like when we pulled the timing cover off, the tensioner was losing some fluid. But it's like, just don't beat the shit out of it. Like that's what all these dudes do is they like get them and then they like bang them off limiter gear for gear for gear. And then they're like, why blow up? You know? And it's like,
The head gaskets will blow though. I will
dude,
tell
there's
you
just like
Actually,
a different level of like
fun
beating
fact.
them up. It's crazy.
the turbo cars were never an issue with the head gaskets. Turbo cars came from the factory with
that.
MLS head
Yeah,
gaskets.
because
Yeah,
everyone
the,
always swears by the OEM STI
Yeah.
head gaskets.
the NA EJs from the early 2000s, like late 90s, early 2000s up until 2010. Those had the head gasket issues. So anytime you see anybody making fun of Subaru WRXs for head gaskets, doesn't exist.
Those are all the Subarus that my brother loves.
Yeah.
They're in that window that you just did. Those years are the Subarus that my brother specifically
I mean,
loves.
they were still like they put flat fours from Subaru in airplanes. You know, like they're reliable engines. You just have to actually take care of them. EJ22, indestructible. You put 250,000 miles on an EJ22.
Which one is that? What is that?
It's from like the GC8, like late 90s.
Oh, yeah, dude, that's the one.
2.2 liter.
That's the one that my brother has. Tons of
Like,
them.
You can't blow those up. You can't.
I mean,
I'll blow one up.
Yeah,
Put a turbo on it.
Remember that one I would drive here from time to time with the white one, and I was driving home from here, and the timing belt snapped. Oh my god, that was
Sounds like maintenance to me.
that
It does.
was, dude. We just did it. I don't know what freak
Wait,
accident
what?
it was.
Really?
I did it, or not? I did
There
it.
you
My
go.
brother had it like thousands of miles prior to that, but within the window. Not
So,
it just snapped. But then
I've
we replaced it, and it
seen-
just ran totally fine.
yeah, well, I have my buddy Ricky out in Nevada. He might still have it, a GD chassis. I think it was a Blob-Eye. And the cam sprocket snapped off one day. Like, he was
What
driving
the
it.
fuck?
The whole cam sprocket snapped off. And he thought the car was done. Like, he was like, well, that's game over because they're interference engines. So it's like, you're cooked. So jokingly, I think he was like recording and he went in to like rev the car more or something like that. He was like, oh, whatever, it's done. They like took that car and they redid the timing on it and everything, and he's still driving it.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah. Like-
That's exactly what happened to us.
Yeah, the 2 liters and the 2.2 liters.
Well,
very,
sometimes you
very
get lucky.
reliable.
Sometimes you get lucky.
Well, no,
Sometimes you get lucky.
I looked it up, just as you said, interference motor. And after I popped the timing cover off and saw that the timing belt was just non-existent, I was like, oh, done. And then we just put the timing. My brother came over, put a new timing belt on it, turned it on. Shit was totally fine.
No smoke or anything?
Nah, it just turned right on and was driving mint.
Yeah,
If-
that's lucky.
If like the belt ends up in a spot where it's chafing, that's gonna, eat the belt real fast.
Oh, okay.
Something like that. Like if the guides aren't quite there, like the guides were installed improperly or something like that, it's gonna chafe the belt, and after so many, thousands of revs, it's just gonna like eat the belt through. I've seen that happen. Also,
Or Amazon timing belts.
I was gonna say, Gates timing belt kits, don't do it.
Really?
Don't do it.
They're
Yeah.
not good?
No.
The blue one? Everybody everybody knows the blue
I never
one.
seen any problems with them, but
Dude, no.
In the Subaru world, you don't do a Gates kit, like ever. It's not necessarily the belt itself, it's all the other components. Like if you can get a Gates kit that's 100% made in the US, you're probably
yeah, I
fine.
heard something about like some of them not being made in
If
certain
your Gates
areas.
kit has made in China parts on it, like
Yeah.
bearings, rollers, stuff like that, that stuff is prone to failure. That's why like OEM is recommended, ASIN is recommended, and that's like it. If you're like selling the car tomorrow, throw a Gates kit at it. Nobody's gonna know the difference, Like, I mean, like a Gates kit is significantly cheaper from what I remember, but like, if you want to risk that, go ahead. It's a $10,000
I think Johnny was
engine.
talking about Gates too, like that. He was saying something.
I'm trying to think what I've run a Gates timing belt on, but I don't
mean-
think I use all eyes and shit just
Yeah.
because it's usually an option.
Yeah.
And that's usually what it says on the OEM shit, so that's what I buy.
Yeah.
My
But I-
wife's Impreza is running a Gates kit. Knock on wood.
You're a crazy guy, bro.
Oh, my buddy did the timing job on it, and he was like, "Yeah, I'll just order the parts, like no worries." And I show up with the car for him to like do the timing job, and it's a Gates kit, and I was just like, "Well, this car sees like 4,000 miles a year, so
I think it'd be fine.
yeah, it's been a few years.
It's better
fine."
than what was on there, probably.
Yeah, for
Yeah.
sure. So what was on there was definitely cooked. So, like this car only has to last another like 3 to 4 years, and then like it's on to somebody else.
So when you got here, you said something to me that I want to bring up. You said you're like he said I didn't get into cars till I was like, how old were you? 30?
Oh man, like I didn't have a car in my own name with my own title until I was like 25, 26.
And you didn't get into cars till that.
So I was like soft into cars. I would like watch Top Gear. I was like knew what a GTR was, all this stuff, but like I never had the accessibility to cars as a younger person. I come from this place in PA called Coatesville. It's a former steel town. It's kind of gone the way all the steel towns have gone. They're kind of like in a sad state now. And I lived there, and it was like this town that's bordering poverty, basically. And I lived in a a little borough of South Coatesville called Modena. So it's like even more bordering on poverty. Like lots of people like coming in and out, rental properties, like very working class, if that. And so after 6th grade, I was going to get put in this special school that Coatesville was starting up, like a new like revolutionary tech school with laptops and everything. And this was just part of the public school system. And then that like fell apart. It flopped. It collapsed like before the first, year started. So my parents were like, well, we don't want you just going to another school in this school system that's like not doing that well, where you're not going to get the proper, amount of attention or education or whatever. My family is all very educated. Like basically everybody in my family's gone to college, graduated. We've got doctors, lawyers, like everything. But they were like, we're going to do our best to get you the best education that you can have. So they sent me to this this private school that was like 30 minutes away. It was a boarding school. It was like 180 boys, basically. I didn't want to live there. I didn't live there. I actually went there from 7th to 12th grade, didn't spend one night there. But sports were mandatory, like after school sports. So I'd get on a bus at like 6 a.m. and I'd get home from there at like 6 p.m., like Monday through Friday. So I
Fuck that, 12 hours away from the house?
Yeah.
As a child?
Yeah, for 6 years.
Bro.
So
I want to
had-
go home and have a PB&J right away.
Yeah,
You're crazy.
For one, I had no time to have like a job or anything like that. Because
Yeah,
being a private school, there was a lot of education. Like you had a lot of like homework and stuff like that. And luckily, like this was a very, very subsidized private school. Like my parents don't make a lot of money. We don't come from a lot of money. Like, so we're luckily in a situation where the school is very subsidized and you could like afford to send your kids there. But I had no time to have a job, and I also had no reason to like have a car really, because I was getting bused there one way and my parents were picking me up the other way. And I also had no friends with cars because like most of the kids lived at the school, and I had one best friend outside of there who still went to public school, and like he wasn't a car guy. So like high school for me was not a time where I had cars. I was actually terrified of driving. Like, I didn't get my license until I was almost 19. I was absolutely terrified of driving. So then I went to Philly for college, and you don't need a car in Philly either.
Yeah.
And I was at Drexel, and Drexel is a school that doesn't have summer vacation. I had the first summer after freshman year off, and then after that, you're in class year round. You have like
Really?
a week or two off between semesters. Yeah, my bachelor's degree was like 180 credits, which is like a master's at a lot of other places.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
What the fuck? Wait,
Yeah.
what major did you graduate with?
Digital media, BS in digital media. So
What the fuck? How many is a normal one?
Don't be asking me that.
it's like 120 to 130.
I think 120 is the number that
Yeah.
I was thinking of.
So I spent basically like from 6th grade until I was like 22, just like immersed in school, like completely. That was it. That was the life, And so I had no time for cars or anything like that. And also I just came from such an impoverished area and a place where, we didn't have a lot of money. Like I specifically remember a time being like a little tiny kid, like 4 or 5 years old in like daycare, and like the daycare attendees like pointing out to each other that I had a raggedy old like bread tie for a zipper pull because the zipper had broken off my coat. Like we didn't, like everything was hand me down, all of that. My mom worked on farms, like horse farms, My dad had a good office job, but my mom like was always working on horse farms. So I came from like a very kind of mixed, like low middle class.
So when did the
Bring it.
need for the car just occur?
I was like after college, I started to need a car more and more. And all through like college, I was borrowing friends' cars and stuff like that. My best friend, him and his little brother and all of his cousins all had Volvos. So like my like late teens, early 20s were spent under a Volvo 240.
Ooh, that's
Yeah.
what my neighbor got. 240 turbo, or no. Yeah. Turbo.
Those are
Wagon and
cool.
wagon.
Turbo wagon?
Actually, 2 wagons.
Yeah.
What he got. The
So-
boxy guy.
I like new Volvos okay. I was like, these are damn cool cars. But like after college, it was move back home for a little bit, or I was staying in the city with my girlfriend at her parents' house. Their parents owned a house in West Philly because their brother had gone to school before us, and they were like, we'll just buy a house and rent it out to people, and you won't have to pay rent. But after so long, it just became like my mom was like, you need a car. Here, take my old car. So my first car was my mom's 96 Geo Prism.
Geo Prism. The hatch.
No,
it's not
sedan.
a hatch. It's a sedan.
Yeah,
I feel
Geo.
like I know what that is. Yeah.
Geo was like a.
It's like a Corolla.
Yeah, it
That's
was.
what it was. Yeah. Oh,
She
dude.
bought this car brand. She leased it in '96, brand new. It was.
Yep.
Fire.
Yup. Yeah, it was
Frankie
black.
Beans.
Yeah.
He has that. That's
Nah,
the car with the
he has a
spinners?
Corolla,
Yeah,
but
just like that.
that's Frankie Beans right there.
Yeah. So we had this car in our family for 20 years, and it became mine at like 220,000 miles.
Fire.
Nice.
And it still got like 35 to 40 miles to the gallon. It
Malcolm,
had-
right there to
They
the
don't
right of
make
that.
'em-
To the
they
right
don't-
of that one.
They don't make them like they used to, you know?
Nope.
Model 5s.
Hell yeah.
That has got to be in the. No, it's in Massachusetts, but I thought it was in the Philippines. That's like something you would see in the Philippines.
Had a Corolla 4A
See.
FE in it.
Oh,
I think.
FE. Yeah, yeah,
I think
yeah.
like
yeah,
a
yeah.
1.6.
Yep.
Or if you got the Prism, I think LSI or GSI, you could get a 1.8. But anyway, this was my first car. And I had it until like 2016 when I bought my Mazda. But this was it. This was my ride.
And then what? You had the Mazda 6?
Mazda 3. Yeah.
Mazda 3
So,
4-cylinder.
yeah, the Geo was just mechanically it was good, but it was rotten through. Like the rockers were completely gone. The B pillars were gone. Like at the rocker, like you could see into the rocker.
It's gonna
and
just the top half of it's gonna fly
Yeah,
away,
it was
or
like
what's up?
this much of the
Like,
B pillar was gone. Like the bottom of the B pillar was just non-existent.
Jeez.
So I drove that thing until like it was like if I get T-boned, somebody's just gonna drive through me and keep going.
Yeah.
You know, like I was like,
Yeah.
I need a newer car. Like I need something new. So I got back from a trip and found this Mazda 3 at a local dealership. Because I was a Toyota dealership and I wanted it. I'd been doing a lot. I still didn't know much about cars. Like originally I was going to look into like a newer like Corolla S, like an 07-ish Corolla
yeah.
S.
Ooh, those are good. 2ZZ and those.
Those were
Yeah.
cool. You know,
Those are
even
good
though it's just a
cars.
Corolla with
know
like a
everything
body
about
component.
Toyotas, Carl.
Just Toyota.
Just like Toyota engines in a Corolla. I'm like, what?
Yeah, dude, I have had like a bunch of these Toyotas. Like,
It's just so crazy.
dude, 2ZZ, good. 1ZZ, no good. That's all you need to know. Like, 1ZZ likes to blow up, 2ZZ, less likely to blow up. But
Is it in a sports car of any sort? Or no, that's
No, it's up in a Toyota Matrix.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I kind of looked into a Matrix too. I was
Yo,
like, you could get
XRS
these with
Matrix.
all-wheel drive. Yeah, but they only came in automatic with the all-wheel drive. And I was
Oh.
like, I want
So
a
you
manual.
wanted manual?
Yeah, so
Was it Geo manual?
the Geo was manual. Yeah.
Oh, dude,
Yeah.
that was probably
that's how you got
a
introduced to
riot,
that.
dude.
My mom was the stick shift driver in the car or in the
Yeah.
family. Yeah, and that was it. It was like between her and my friend's dad, who had inherited on like 87 Isuzu Trooper diesel
That sounds sick.
manual. I learned to drive stick on those two cars. And it was like the Trooper, you literally could not stall it out. Like it would just punish you. Like if you got the shift wrong, you know, or the timing wrong or whatever, just it wouldn't shut off. It would just keep like it just
Wait,
like,
I want to see this
The
car.
idle
now,
is just
though.
a little high enough just so that it can like keep it going.
Yeah, it was this diesel. It had so much torque, like it couldn't die. you know?
Isuzu Trooper.
Yeah,
Diesel, though.
87.
I didn't even
think
know
it was
that
like
that
an
was a
86,
thing.
87.
The fact that it's called a Trooper, like,
Dude, you
that's-
don't know
it
what
had-
an Isuzu Trooper was? Come
I'm
on.
about
It
to
had
find
like
out.
seats out of an RV in it or something, so they were super high.
Damn,
Bro,
Yeah.
I need this.
Yeah, it was
John.
white. Yeah, it looked like this. Yep.
dude, what?
Yeah.
That's a diesel?
I don't know what that one is, but you could get the one
This
that
thing
I
is sweet.
learned on was a diesel. Yeah. Cool cars.
Oh, I would have kept that, man.
I know. Holy crap. I might have to look into this shit.
Oh,
They
you
got
didn't
ball
have that,
joints
though.
on that shit? I do not want to go
They don't
run into
got
this
the-
again.
Yeah, they don't got that situation.
That thing looks like if you had a kid draw a truck.
Or a Jeep.
Yeah.
Bro.
That's a Cherokee.
If you fucking drew like a rectangle.
Dude, this is cool, man.
It was a cool car. It looked kind of like that one with like the roof rack on it. I think it had some like sibbies on the front of it or something. but like
It's a 4-cylinder or?
I think it was. I didn't know too much about it at the time.
That's like an extremely foreign looking
Yeah,
truck.
I'm shocked this is even in this country.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was like it had been my friend's family's like grandfather's car, and then it got passed down. I think he passed away or something, and it got passed down to like my friend's parents, and it wasn't like a daily or anything. It was just like they had like 7 cars at all times, different cars for different purposes. But it was like the car they'd take out in like a snowstorm, stuff like that. It was a tank.
That is the tank of the family. Like there's always that one.
It had
family
I think it had like locking diffs, like 4 low.
Fire.
You know, like
that's what I'm saying, bro. That's why I was looking at this. Bro, Isuzu makes the diesel fucking engines, dude.
Yeah.
You're telling me this is going to be a piece of crap?
They make the Duramax too. Uh-oh.
You know what I'm saying?
It was
They
a
make the
tank.
best diesel engines.
They had it for a while, and then like it was basically like farm tractor status. You know, like it was never gonna really like be road worthy anymore. Like rotting out, all this stuff. I think somebody else ended up buying it and actually like turning it into their like farm truck.
Yeah.
But it was a fun truck to kind of learn on and get.
Wonder how much
get a
those
stick shift
cost.
education
I'm
on.
checking right now.
Carl's already on Marketplace.
I just want to know real quick because like why is that?
So when did you start? I mean, you were going to school for photography, kind of.
I went to school mostly for animation. Actually.
Really?
Yeah, the photography thing. My dad got me my first camera when I graduated high school. He got me a Canon Rebel.
Okay.
But like all through like maybe late middle school and high school, I was obsessed with cameras. Like when I finished 5th grade, my like 5th grade graduation gift from my parents that I asked for was a Polaroid iZone. You guys remember those?
Yeah.
Wait, what's an iZone?
Long,
strip
skinny
comes out.
camera. Yeah, and it had like
with the it
instant.
prints out the bigger
little thumbnail size pictures.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep. This.
Yo!
Yeah.
Oh my god, dude!
Yeah. So I had one of these in year 2000.
Why don't we still have these?
We do. It's
they
called
do?
the
They do?
iPhone now.
No, fuck that shit.
The instant camera thing has just blown up. You can get so many different instant cameras.
Dude,
now.
seriously. I mean, we can.
I need to get
maybe,
one of those.
Yeah,
Yeah.
maybe we should hit like a little fashion.
So I had
instant
one of
cam.
these, and then like I was always swiping my parents' like point and shoot or like camcorder or whatever to make stupid little like videos with like action figures and stuff like that. I was just obsessed with all of it, you know? So I thought I wanted to be an engineer, and then like senior year of high school, we had like a guest engineer come in, and like somebody's like, "Oh, what's it like being an engineer?" And he just like flat out was like, "Well, get ready to sit at a desk all day and do a lot of paperwork." And I was just like,
That guy fucked you
I was like, dude, like, well, because I wanted to be hands on, you know, like I took a shop class where we like disassembled a 2-stroke motor and had to put it back together, like, and make it run.
Yeah.
I loved that stuff.
I did too.
I was like all about it, you know. So I wanted to be more probably of like a machinist or something than an actual engineer, but
Yeah.
like. I don't know. I just like I wanted to be creative and I wanted to do something with my hands. I didn't want to sit at a desk all day. And it just kind of turned into like, we found the digital media program at Drexel, which was still fairly early on. And I was like, whoa, animation's cool. Like I like gaming and like I've always wondered how like 3D is done and like movies and stuff like that. So my dad got me this camera, and then 3 months later I started at Drexel, and like I was always taking photos. Like always. Like anytime I had free time, the camera was out. And I was really big into paintball. So I was on Drexel's like collegiate paintball team, and I was always like out at the field, like taking action photos, paintball and stuff like that. And it just kind of evolved from there. I finished Drexel, got my degree, didn't really like know what to do with it. It's really like you move to California and you work for like Pixar or something. You know, like there's not a whole lot of stuff that was like in
Sounds
my
kinda
realm
sick.
around here.
Well, like no, if you think about it, there wasn't like a path.
Yeah.
It's pretty.
They
new.
say now the movies are coming to this area again.
Yeah, you know, like
Are they really in
Apparently.
Morristown
I don't know.
or
Well,
wherever they're making that Netflix fucking
Then yeah,
facility?
that might be what I'm talking about.
we
yeah.
got like, you know, M. Night Shyamalan. He's the local Philly guy. Makes all of his movies like kind of in like the Philly surroundings, all that. Like
the guy who made no, I'm thinking about Michael Bay. That was the Transformers movie.
a little different.
I'm like, what the fuck? He's a Philly native? He knows Reese Marin? What?
I mean, I don't know where Michael Bay's from, but different
I don't
different
think it's
genre.
Philly, but no, it's definitely not M. Night Shyamalan or whatever.
yeah. So it was just like, I didn't really know what to do. I ended up getting like, after, like 6 months, I got a job at like this startup, and that didn't go great. It was like super wishy-washy. This woman who was kind of just like pulling the wool over the eyes of all of these like fresh college graduates who didn't know any better. Like that lasted for like 8 months of being on and off. Like started off, you're like, yeah, I got this full-time job. And then like 2 months later, hey, we're not doing well. We're taking everybody down to like 1 day a week. And like
One day?
Dude, it was
Damn, they dragged it down so they didn't lay you off, but they didn't fire you.
It was
so they didn't have to pay out.
It was so silly, man. They were trying to put together this software that would like be for patient education for like medical procedures and stuff. So like basically your doctor could come in with an iPad and show you like a 3D animation of them like putting a stent in your heart or whatever and be like, this is what we're gonna do.
What's so funny, Frankie?
Here's what's wrong with you, and it's just like you, like your
here's
heart
a visual,
failing.
Yeah. There's a visual aid of like,
Look, like right here. No, I'm just gonna.
This is what's gonna happen if you don't stop
aorta.
smoking. Yeah.
It is fucking exploding.
your aorta looks like a party balloon right now, but don't worry, we're gonna fix it as soon as we finish making this software.
Look, we got this cool animation for you.
Yeah, like this is what your heart's gonna look like when it explodes.
So I guess it was not for that. It was more like, this is how we're gonna help fix it.
Yeah, it's like, here's a little education on like how this is gonna go down. But it was so unrealistic. I mean, they like everything was so sketch. Like we were running like cracked like student versions of software, like all this stuff that was like so bad. And the way it would work would be, if you wanted a job there, you would take on a month of unpaid internship, and then like from there they would decide whether like you're worthy or not.
This place is saving money left and right.
That is literally the epitome of just somebody who preys on what James just mentioned, like fresh new grads. Because that is exactly what I fell into. And then
Really?
Not really.
Okay.
No, but similarly, just different, like a different medium. Like,
yeah, but
I
they're
got
still
a-
going after you.
fresh college grads, and
Yeah.
they know that you could overwork the fuck out of a college
It's the same
grad.
thing.
Oh yeah, dude. My commute one way was like 60 miles or something.
Yeah,
Stupid.
Fuck that.
Stupid. And it was like, for some reason we didn't have, like, the company didn't have enough money to like pay us really. But when this was like the year The Hobbit came out, the first Hobbit.
The movie?
Yeah.
What the?
They took like all 15 of us to go see The Hobbit in 3D.
That's a write-off. That's a write-off.
what are we doing
They
here?
had to
Like,
offset something.
You know, and like
What are we doing here?
They had to drop it down.
it tried to be the like cool startup vibe where like, the office has like an arcade game in it and like there's Nerf guns everywhere and
It's
all
like,
this
just
shit.
pay us.
Yeah.
We don't
And,
want the Nerf guns.
like after being there for like 8 months, of like, it was like January 2013 or whatever. Like I'm still only coming in like 1 day a week or whatever, living at home, trying to figure my shit out. By like April or May, they were like, hey, good news. We've got like money and we're going to bring everybody back full time. And it's like, cool. And then like in June, they fired me.
I'm taking the severance. Fire
Yeah.
me all you want. The next job that I go to and they ask what happened, I'm gonna literally tell them I worked at a shithole.
Yeah.
Dude, they made up like all, like they would try to get us to like do stuff that physically was not possible because we were using like cracked software and they wouldn't pay for like proper funding for anything. And it's like, you just like kept going back to people and being like, I've spent 40 hours trying to turn water into wine here. Like,
So they would just
not
sell these
listening to me.
animations to like doctors.
Oh, they didn't even get that far, dude.
What were
Like,
they doing? What were y'all doing? in the
Dude, I
office
don't
then?
like. We were trying. Meanwhile, like I remember being there late at night one night, like me and 3 other people, and the boss is still there, and she's back in her office, and like somebody knocks at the door, and she goes and answers it, and it's a drug dealer.
Oh, okay. I had a feeling that something else was going on here.
So like her and her drug dealer go back in the office, and then like 20 minutes later, we're out there still working. It's like 7 o'clock at night. Drug dealer comes back out and leaves. This woman walks out with like 2 ounces. She's just like, yeah. Like, we're like, cool. We've been here for 12 hours and you're just like shaking $300 worth of drugs in front of us. And like, like.
Is she sharing? Why the fuck is the reason of showing your employees
This is crazy.
Where's
Yeah.
the decorum?
Yeah.
So,
like,
were you taking photos of cars at this point yet, or no?
No. This was like still 4.5 years before I started
Whoa.
taking pictures of cars.
So the whole time you kind of just, I'm going to assume you like were just finding,
Yeah.
like what car drove by where you were just like, click. There it is. You know what I
Oh,
mean?
dude.
Like,
Club Loose was my first introduction to shooting cars.
well, how did you even find
Yeah,
Club
how the hell
Loose?
did that happen?
So after I got fired from this place because apparently I was like argumentative and wouldn't do what they said and was combative, and all it was me trying to tell them, hey, the shit you're trying to do is unrealistic and it's not going to work. Like, you're just wasting your time, or you can actually put the money into like getting us properly funded with like real software and stuff.
Yeah.
That place folded fast. Like, first they fired me because they got a new 3D intern in, who was going to work for a month for free. So they fired me.
But then they got to get the next person lined up, too.
And then, like, 3 months later, they fired all the 3D guys, like, completely. So, like, this whole medical project, gone, like, entirely, because it was me and a couple other dudes from my graduating class at Drexel who ended up there. And so, like, we were all out by, like, the middle of 2013. So, and then that place has since folded, it's 12 years ago now. That place has hard folded at this point.
Do you think back on that time as a time that I don't know, do you think you could have used that time more beneficially? Because I think back on it sometimes, and there's points in my life where I'm like, I could have done something else, but really that showed me like something that I shouldn't be doing. So I was like, all right, yeah, I guess I'll take that as a learning.
Yeah, I
Little
think
guy.
a big lesson in life is that doing stuff can teach you what you want to do, and it can also teach you what you don't want to do. And like that was the moment where I decided like I don't want to do 3D anymore. Like, unfortunately, like all through college, it was like you didn't have these professors who they're very book smart and they know what they're talking about, but they're not really people. So like you'd be on your own for everything. It's like they whiz through like a 3-hour class, like here's how to use Adobe Illustrator. And then you're like, they're like projects due next week. And you're like, dog, like, I don't know, so.
Project?
Yeah.
like,
So, like,
what is happening?
College taught me to be very self-reliant and self-resourceful. Just because like, if you didn't teach yourself how to do this stuff, nobody was going to teach you how to do it. And it was
Crazy. It's like not the point of college.
Yeah.
Dude, no. Like college, you're right. Like
But you're supposed to be taught.
The takeaways that I got from college were like how to survive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like that's it.
Yeah, that was
it's
it.
like how close to this deadline can I get to this with doing the minimal amount of work
I don't
and
know
then
about
get
that.
through. No, that's literally it. That's efficiency. Is it not? It's like the least amount of time I need to get this task
But don't you
done
wanna, like, do
at
the-
a
do your best?
satisfactory rate. That is the key.
You don't want to get it done like early.
Satisfactory rate. That's it. You think I graduated college with a 4.0?
Oh, dude.
You look like a 4.0 type of guy.
I got a 3.4, but
I had a
See?
2.99.
Pretty good.
dude,
Yeah. I was like so mad that I didn't get a 3. And I was like,
I wanted the 3. I wanted the little sash guy, and I was short.
yeah.
I was short. You need a 3.5 for that, so
Yeah.
that you could get the cum laude.
Wait, what's that?
That's the cum laude.
Yeah.
It's like
I don't think it's come loud.
yeah, it's cum laude.
Okay.
Spelled the same way,
Malcolm, type it in.
Yeah.
Type it in on Google. See what
Malcolm
comes up.
definitely got that though when he.
No?
Make sure safe
What was
search
your
is on.
GPA? Look, see,
I think mine was 3.1 or something.
Really?
Well,
why are you shocked at that?
You look smart, no?
What?
I mean-
3.1 is great. What are you?
Carl had a, what was your degree in?
Business admin.
Oh, now we're comparing degrees.
I mean, mine was in like sciences and
Yeah.
health stuff. So
Mine
it's a
was
little
so
hard.
easy. What do you?
Damn, that's crazy.
I did not learn anything.
Yeah. I learned a lot. I'm not going to lie. So I went into college. Like,
I'm jealous.
a lot of these kids had programs in high school where they were learning Photoshop, Illustrator, like
Yes.
maybe even some animation stuff. Like I had nothing like that in college or in high school, like nothing. So I came in completely unaware. Like my first time opening Photoshop was like a cracked version of CS3 that a friend gave to me like the summer before I started college.
Dude,
So like,
you hit that little generator guy, the key gen, and that shit is playing the song. Do you know what I'm talking about?
yeah, to crack it.
Yeah, dude. There used to be to crack the software, allegedly, Photoshop.
I don't know what this shit is.
You
right
would
now.
you would need to type in the code because when you buy a software, there's like they give you a code
Yeah,
in
on
the
the
box.
CD key.
Yeah, CD key.
Yeah.
But there was like a crack, and I forget which software it was. If it was Photoshop, it was Sony Vegas, whatever. But it would like play this tune. It was like this really like ominous sounding 64-bit song, and then it would like play while you're generating the key.
And this is illegal.
Yes.
Yeah.
Was.
Yeah, it was.
Was.
I don't think people
FBI.
I don't think people do like CD.
There's no real
cracks
like,
anymore.
no,
it's hard
all,
to do now.
It's all online now.
It's all
like,
on
everything
cloud,
gets
like-
verified through the internet.
So there's
It's
no way
good.
to even like get that shit anymore for free?
if you have like if you find like a CD copy of I don't know Photoshop from 10 years ago or something,
Wow.
probably
Yeah,
yeah. But like
maybe.
Damn, that's
everything.
crazy.
So dude, everything is getting monetized. All right, before I get into that though, I want to get back to like how I got from being ripped off in a 3D
In a company,
startup
yeah,
to shooting cars.
Club Loose, yes. Thank you for that, Frankie. Okay,
fault?
we were about to
not
jump
his
another
fault.
topic.
I didn't say anything.
Just jumping all over the place here. It's okay.
No, dude. Take a minute. I want to take a minute to say how good of a storyteller James
I
is.
know.
Because I'll listen to anything James got to say right now. Like,
Dude, I don't
I
know.
want to know what the next job is.
Oh, dude, all right, we're talking like summer 2013. I'm living in this house in West Philly with my girlfriend, her parents' house. They don't live there, but like it was me and her and a bunch of her friends that like were all finishing up their last year of college. And I didn't really know what I was going to do. I was like lost, you know, like a lot of people who leave college and like it's their source of community and everything. Everybody splits apart. And then you're lost. You don't know what to do. It's like you lost your friends circle. If they all moved away, you lost your support structure. Like you're kind of like, damn, I don't really. I went through like a deep depression at the end of my senior year. Like it was
ooh,
hard.
this is making my chest like kind of hurt.
yeah,
like,
dude. It
Dude, that was a real ass feeling. Like,
Okay.
Frankie doesn't know because he went to Paramus University.
yeah.
I went to community college, so
That was a good community college, bro.
I never like left
Yeah.
my friends.
Yeah,
if you-
yeah.
as you would say.
Yeah,
You know?
no, I'm still friends with a lot of my college friends and my college friends from other colleges that I didn't even go to.
That
But,
sent
like,
a feeling though through my chest where it was like when it all was done, we all just like split.
yeah.
It was kind of wild.
Yeah. So like during senior year, I mean, I worked myself to the bone. I took on way too much work. I was doing a senior project where we were developing an iPad game, like a 3D adventure iPad game from scratch.
Okay.
And that was
Maze
hard
Runner.
because like, yeah, basically.
Or what is the one? Temple Run. Sorry.
Oh, yeah,
Maze
yeah.
Runner.
Were you into like
Maze Runner
jump
was a
and
movie.
shit?
If
Yeah.
you were the discoverer of that, you were probably lit.
Yeah, he would not be.
No,
here
that
right
was
yeah, I don't
hard.
think
Yeah,
that
I
he
wouldn't
would
be
be
here. That was hard. And then on top of that, I was taking a senior 3D animation class that like, it was basically like you had to hate yourself if you were going to take on this much of a workload. And I had all my other senior classes too. So it was like really long days, really long nights. And like third week of April, I like had a total emotional breakdown. Like I remember getting back to my apartment and like my roommate wasn't there and like just chilling on the couch and all of a sudden like kind of all of the repressed emotion of my life. Like there's a point where you kind of become self-aware of like your emotions and like depression and anxiety and all of that. And it's like up to a certain point, you're just kind of like operating on autopilot and you haven't really like fully
I'm waiting for that to kick in for
logged.
me. No, I know exactly what you're talking
Yeah.
about. Hasn't
It's
happened
just
yet.
like
You're just
hit
living
me.
with you're living with the insanity. It's like
Yep.
you're just coasting. That's
Yeah,
it.
yeah. So
just getting by.
I guess it like something in the back of my head just like snapped and I just like broke and I went into like my first panic attack ever. And like, I had no idea what that was like. I was like alone, no clue. I was just like, holy shit, am I dying? Like what's going on here? And for like the next week straight, uncontrollable anxiety. Like I went to like the Drexel, like health center. They gave me some Klonopin to like chill me out and make me functional. And then like I had
Your health place gave you that?
Yeah.
They just gave you Klonopin?
I
Yeah,
think,
they can do that?
Yeah. It was a small.
They gave me fucking amoxicillin when I thought I was fucking dying.
They're like, here's
my-
some Tums.
Dude,
Take it easy.
what the fuck?
Yeah. So
I went to Rowan, so I was kind
I
of near
gotcha.
Philly. So I'm trying to.
I almost went to Rowan.
Thank
Yeah.
God you didn't. because you
Drexel-
turned out pretty well.
Drexel gave me a better scholarship. That was the only
thank
reason.
God.
Yeah.
And when I went, that shit had nothing cool there.
Yeah.
Like, not now. Apparently, it's pretty good now.
Oh, everything's pretty good now because we all spent $1 million. And now we're seeing the results.
like,
of it,
oh, just making
it's like my tuition here in
Dude,
this window.
I
right
left,
there.
and then there was like 7 more bars went up, a fucking urgent care, a
Yeah.
fucking hospital.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, good.
So I went through a rough patch. Uncontrollable anxiety, like barely functional, and that really like made me self-conscious about like mental health and
Yeah.
all of that. And then like that summer was absolutely awful. If you've never experienced real depression, I hope you never do, because it's like the worst thing in the world. Like unfunctional depression.
This just came out of nowhere,
It was just the stress of school, life, all of that. Like
but it kind of did come out of nowhere.
it was definitely building up, and I just didn't know it.
Yeah.
And also, like, there's definitely a history of it in my family, so it's like not surprising. Like certain stuff, like certain family history stuff, it doesn't come out until a certain age, So it's just like, but like this was rough. This was real rough.
And this is before you had the job, obviously.
Yeah. So by that fall, I was starting to feel a little better, getting myself together. I weaned myself off of antidepressants by like 2014.
Probably a good idea.
Yeah, they just turned me into a robot. Like you don't
Yeah.
feel anything, Like you can't be happy, you can't be sad. You're just kind of like running on neutral, So fast forward, live in West Philly, girlfriend's friends, all that. It's like summer 2013. Don't know what I'm gonna do. Just like kind of bouncing all over the place. By that fall, I found an internship. It was unpaid, but it was a cool, like, kind of step on the way. Do you guys know who Steve McCurry is?
I don't know.
You've definitely seen his work.
Is he a photographer?
Yeah, National Geographic level photographer.
I probably did see it. I
If
just don't know.
you've seen this photo called The Afghan Girl, it's from the early 90s.
Oh, I heard of that photo.
She's
Or I
in a
seen it.
shawl,
Yeah.
super penetrating eyes.
Yeah.
That's his work. And that's
With
like,
the thing like in the,
yeah.
yeah.
That's like one of his most famous photos ever. So,
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
this photo.
The eyes.
Yeah.
Nope,
Crazy.
different photo than I
So-
was talking about, but also crazy.
So he wasn't based. He's like based in New York, but his sister Bonnie ran kind of the administrative office for his business out of Exton, PA, which was like right near where I grew up. It was an unpaid internship with a stipend, but I was like, dude, hell yeah, I'm going to take that. So I was there for like, I don't know, from like mid-November to like late December, I'd say, just scanning in slides from his life's work, like handling prints, handling slides that like probably has like his thumbnails or his thumbprints on them, stuff like that, like actual ephemera that Steve McCurry used. The basement had a rack that just had all his khaki photographer vests on it from like all of his world travels. I like went down there one day and I just like brushed my hand across and I was like, oh my God, like I'm touching Steve McCurry's jackets. Like this is absolutely crazy. Like this guy is like the guy, he shot on my favorite film stock, Kodachrome, which was also super inspiring. But I worked there for like 6 weeks. And one day I'm at Walmart with my girlfriend. I'm standing in line and I just get like an email from Bonnie saying my services are no longer needed. This was like between Christmas and New Year's.
Damn it.
And I was just like,
I would have
wow.
been in Walmart crashing out.
Yeah. I was just like,
Type shit. Crazy.
I was like,
oh
dude.
my God.
this sucks. This really sucks.
God damn.
So
that
it was rough. And then like at this point, I'm like 3 months behind on rent. I don't know what I'm going to do. Now I have nothing going on. So like I did the only thing that I could do. I got a job at Panera Bread. There was a new Panera Bread opening up downtown across from the convention center in Philly. And so I was on the opening crew for the Panera Bread, making like $7.50 an hour or something like that.
Dude, yeah, because you got to remember, this is fucking like 20.
This was 2016, early 2014.
14.
Yeah. So
Yeah, minimum wage was $7.50.
Shit.
It changed a
still
lot
is.
in 10 years.
Fuck.
it still is. In Pennsylvania, it's still like $7.25, I think.
Wait, what?
Yeah, that like hasn't changed. Pennsylvania is run by a bunch of like, Republicans that don't want any progress.
What?
Yeah. Yeah.
$7.25.
What's it
think.
here? Isn't it 15 something, Malcolm? Do you know?
I'm pretty sure in PA it's still like $7.25 or $7.50.
I think
Something.
we looked.
The federal is that.
We looked it up recently. I think on another podcast.
The federal minimum wage is 7 something.
Yeah.
But I'd just be shocked that it's actually that. Oh, okay. Now it's not.
Oh, all right. That's a lot better.
It's set
Yeah.
to increase. Thank God.
Yeah.
All right, 1731. There we go.
That's much better.
Oh,
But-
look, 2025, it was 14. Oh, wait, small employer minimum. Oh, there's 2 different types, too.
interesting.
Oh. That's
All
that's
right,
actually a good
Pennsylvania.
fucking idea to have two different types. As a small business owner, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
You know, like if you have a big corporation, they should be paying their employees more.
They should be.
And a small business owner should be able to pay a little bit less.
Yeah.
That's actually a really smart idea. I don't think we have that in New Jersey.
But then I hope that still incentivizes people to work for people with small business.
Well, I mean, it is what it is. If they need more money, they got to find a different job. But
Yeah. Or
small
2 jobs.
businesses can't afford to pay crazy amounts of money.
No,
So
can't. I wish I could afford to hire an assistant. I have so many guys that are like, yo, if you ever need somebody on a
I can't
shoot,
wait to get
just,
to
like,
this
jump
section
on."
of the story.
yeah, wait. So what happened with Bonnie that you managed to land the like?
The Panera gig?
Yeah,
Oh,
no.
man.
Like, well, you had to obviously find your way back.
Dude, yeah, I don't know. I don't know what happened with Bonnie. I don't know why she was just like, I'm letting you go. Bye. I helped. So there was a
No,
big...
but I mean, like, how'd you find your way back to the photography era? Because you didn't stay at Panera forever.
No,
right?
no.
You're not still there.
Imagine he's like, I'm the manager.
I actually own,
I actually own it.
own the Panera. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I was
They make
still-
movies about you.
The whole time I was like freelancing on the side. Like weekends, I'd be either second shooting weddings or like the end of 2014 was when I stepped out and I started to like shoot weddings on my own. So I had the day job to like give me a consistent income. And then on the weekends, I was working the like weddings and stuff like that. And I knew a couple Philly photographers, you know, you could make like $400 in an 8-hour day as a second shooter, which was not bad.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, you hand them your files and you go home. You never have to see the clients again. You never have to edit. Like
That's nice.
It's like in and out, clean cut. So I was doing that, and I was still living in this house in West Philly. That rapidly fell apart. A lot of stuff went down. I won't get into it, but it was just a lot of drama. I ended up getting kicked out of that house for no reason of my own. Just like the wrong people moved in, and they just kind of slowly moved me out of the house. And then by the end of 2015, I was back, or no, by the end of 2014, I'd moved back in with my parents. I was there for a year. Early 2015, I got a job in a camera shop. So I worked in this camera shop from like January until like August. Lived at home, saved up my money, got to know a lot of cool people in the industry. Like we'd have like Sony reps come in and show us the newest thing from Sony, whatever. I was like developing people's film. I was like scanning film, you know, doing like Photoshop correction. People would bring in like their faded like photos, and I would scan them in and then do the color correction to bring them back to like true color, and then print them back out for them, stuff like that. So that was really cool. I made some good friends there, and that was like also another like eye-opening part of the journey. It was like kind of a teaching moment about life, because some people would bring in like shoe boxes, right? And this shoe box is full of photos, and you're going through all these photos, and you see like grandparents get older and older and older and then disappear out of the family photos. You see pets come and go. You see children grow up. You just like, you see life like happening right before your eyes. And it's like,
You ever get any like dirty ones? Sorry, but I'm just such. My brain is like so immature. I'm just thinking of if you're just like looking through a shoebox and then boom, like
luckily, no.
whoa,
This shit was getting
Whoa,
so
cover-
emotional. And
cover-
then Carl just goes, "You're
cover
getting
it up."
dirty photos."
dude. Because like as somebody who's developing photos, you can't.
I'm
That's
sure there might have been
there's
some
a
like
confidentiality there that
a random
shouldn't-
titty
it
here and there.
shouldn't
Yeah,
leave.
I get it. I
It
get
shouldn't
it.
leave. You know what I mean? Like somebody getting something developed for their man's like it should have never leave.
Quick dick
Luckily
pic.
not.
But like I gotta ask, like you ever see like
Luckily not.
I hear what you're saying.
Yeah.
I hear what you're saying.
That's
with,
like-
with life.
yeah.
That's
Yeah.
how I feel every single day I wake up.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
I absolutely hate it.
All right.
Yeah.
Sorry, I just
No, you're
my
good.
puny mind had to go there.
It's hilarious. By like the end of August, me and my best friend had found a house, a brownstone in Philly, and we found it was a 4 apartment building in Fairmount, like 3 blocks from Eastern State Penitentiary.
Ooh,
And
Halloween's gonna be lit.
I've actually never been through Eastern
Oh
State
my
on
God.
Halloween. To this day, I still haven't done it. I want to do it.
Let's go
It's
this
just
year.
Like,
We'll meet up.
All right, let's do it.
All
Let's
right,
go.
you heard that, Malk? We're all going.
We'll hard park out front. Everybody can be like, damn.
I let you guys tell
Carl's
me.
definitely coming.
I let you guys
No,
let you
Carl's
guys tell me
coming.
how that go.
We're
Hey.
gonna look. We're gonna like bring you. We're gonna drag you.
Yeah,
there.
you're going.
We're gonna go
Yeah.
on the extra tour that lets
I'll be waiting
people
at
like touch you and
Angelo's.
take you into like
Yeah.
back rooms and stuff.
That's
like
exactly what I don't like. Like, remember what was the one that you brought me to last
We
year?
brought him to one that's
the
local
one
to us.
up north.
And no one was touching him. And he was freaking out.
Dude, it wasn't the. There was only one section of that, and we're veering off from the topic here, but there was one section of that haunted house that I didn't like, and it's. I don't care that people are fucking yelling at me, but when I feel like I don't have anywhere to run, then I'm like,
Dude, we went there with
I'm
him.
trapped.
I'm about to start swinging my arms
Yeah.
around.
So I only knew Carl for like what, a year or two?
Maybe a year,
Maybe a year.
maybe 2 years
Maybe
now
a
at that
year, I
point.
think. So I bring him. I was like, he seemed like he was a little scared, but I was like, he'll be okay.
I'm just
and then we're
gripping
going.
Frankie.
Yeah,
like
we're
this.
going. And
Human shield.
I'm not really like next to him or whatever. And then one moment we're going through this thing, and I'm like, "Yo, Carl, I'm behind you." And he grabs my arm. He's grabbing it like for dear life, and I was like, "Oh shit." I was like, "Oh my god, this guy's having a fucking panic attack right now going through here."
Not just a panic. It's not a panic attack. It's
but it
just
was
I don't
fear.
like that
It was
shit.
fear.
I just
Yeah.
don't like that
Yeah,
shit.
you know
Yeah.
when you feel it, you're like, "Oh, okay,
Yep.
we fucked up."
Dude, and then there was this one where there was like just so many strobing lights and like smoke and
Yeah.
bars and mirrors. And I was just like, that one I didn't like because now I'm like just getting a sensory overload of like, and now I'm just either gonna run through one of these bitches
hit
or
your head on some
like
shit.
it'll build up and then just some sort of retard moment is going to happen where I just something's going to happen. Like
Yeah.
I'm just going to break something. So I'm just like I don't really like
Yeah.
those.
Sidebar to the sidebar. I actually worked in some haunted houses when I was in like middle school. It's like the most fun thing you
Yeah.
will ever do,
That
dude.
shit sounds
Dude, those
sick.
always
So
the staff look like
fun.
they having so much fun sometimes
I
if
still wanna
everybody's
work
not
at
being a
Six Flags.
douche.
Yeah.
I still regret not working at Six Flags, but you
My-
had to like live there, so
Oh, really?
yeah.
My best friend's dad would do a haunted house. So we're all in the woods, right? So their backyard had a trail loop that just like started on one side of the yard and it went like big horseshoe through the woods and came back out the other side.
Fire.
So they would do a haunted house every year and we would like post up on the trail and like we set up like fake, like gravestones and all this stuff. And the like climax of this was my friend's dad would be at the end with the chainsaw and the coveralls and the Jason mask. And like people would get close and you just hear
I love
and
it.
like you just like run out and you just hear everybody's like running away screaming. Like it was great. He like took the chain off the chainsaw, so like he's not gonna
Hopefully.
hurt anybody.
Hopefully.
Yeah, but like it was awesome.
Might have forgot one night.
Thank God. Shit. That's the wrong one.
Oh man.
Yeah.
God
So-
damn.
So you're living there.
Yeah, so my best friend and I moved in together, Fairmount,
Brownstone.
late 2015, Brownstone. We had this apartment that was like the back half of the first floor of this brownstone and the basement. It was like 1,000 square feet total. So like
It's a fucking big ass apartment.
it was pretty big, yeah. And we were paying like $1,200 a month for rent for the whole place. So like the price was right.
Yeah.
And like it wasn't without faults. The bedrooms and the bathroom were in the basement. And so when it rained real heavy, sometimes the basement would flood. And my bedroom was the one that was closer to the half of the basement that flooded. So
I'm sleeping on stilts, bro.
a few times early on living there, my carpet all turned soggy. And like it was a little bit of a pain in the ass. But for the price, it was great. And the main root cause of it was on the third floor. This young family, they had twin toddlers and a newborn. And like the toddlers apparently would like drop toys and stuff in the toilet and then like flush it. And all the toys would end up blocking up the sewer line. So
God.
then like the rain backs up and it's got nowhere to go and it just fills up the basement. And like the landlord's solution for this was, this is such a Philly thing, right? Especially like you're living in a half basement apartment. He had a mop and another broom handle taped together to make this really long plunger, like this like 10-foot long plunger. and it was raining real hard, and you saw like water starting to back up in the basement, you'd go out to the curb, pop off the vent cover for the sewer, and just like plunge the shit out of it. So you're like out in the rain on the curb, plunging the shit out of the sewer line to make sure that the water would drain out. And
Did it work?
yeah, it worked. Sounds real glamorous, right? But
Yeah.
like, you know, we're just like middle 20 something.
Now it
like,
makes sense. The price makes sense. now.
yeah, trying to get our shit together. I lived in that place for 5 years. We had a back patio. I had off-street parking. It was great for like the price and everything. It was awesome. Like,
Yeah, good luck finding
neighborhood.
anywhere to live in that area for $1,200 period right now.
Yeah, no
Yeah.
way, no
Like,
way.
no shot.
So while I was living there, I was still freelancing, and I got picked up. I started working at Trader Joe's because I just turned 26. I needed health insurance. I was like, what am I gonna do for like health insurance? You know, not on the parents. Deathly afraid of like getting sick or something like that and not having health coverage, because when you have no money and no health insurance, like it's a great way to go bankrupt real quick.
Frankie just staring off into the window.
I'm just thinking
do
about how
I have health insurance?
No, and well, yeah, technically, I guess I do, but I just didn't. I was like, health insurance? I'm not going to need that till I'm
Dude,
30.
it's like so many people don't have health insurance. It's horrible.
Yep.
But I was working at Trader Joe's, and I was usually working like second shift. So I would go in usually like 4 p.m. ish, like between 1 and 4, and I'd work until like between like 10
so you
and
stopped working at the
at Panera?
camera store.
Yeah. Because the camera store was like near where my parents were. So I left there, moved back to Philly because that's where all the work was. Worked at this Trader Joe's, still was doing photography on the weekends, still like second shooting and all of that. And it was enough to like, you know, make a living. Then like spring 2016, this company DMs me and they're like, hey, we found you through Instagram. We found your work. We love it. And there's this jewelry company in Philly, pretty big jewelry company. I'm not gonna name the name, but they're pretty big, pretty competitive with like a lot of the other like largest jewelers like David Yurman, stuff like that.
And they just saw your Instagram?
They found me through Instagram, yeah.
Okay.
And they needed like
It was Rolex.
dude, I wish.
It was Breitling or whatever.
I wish. I
Something.
wish, man.
Well, let's just say, whatever it was. Yeah.
And they found me because like when you're a wedding photographer, you end up doing a lot of details of like the bride and stuff, like earrings, like bracelets, like whatever they've got. Men's
How did you
watches.
learn how to shoot the way you shoot? Your photos are very like, I don't want to say unique, but I guess they are unique. It's like, that's the word I would use.
Literally
They're
just
full of emotion type of. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like you get.
It's something. Can you bring up his Instagram out? Because I'm trying to figure out what I'm talking
The
about.
banked photos, dude. The bank at night. The James Graves photos at night on the bank.
Yeah. Even the photos that you were. I mean, yeah, these photos are good. I want to see some non-drifting photos. Yeah, let's go down. Yeah, like, yeah, these photos are just good. Like, I don't know shit about. We do you know Eric Ryan? Ryan. I know Malcolm always corrects me.
Is it really right?
maybe I
Have I been
probably
fucking that
what's
up?
his Instagram? I might know him more through
It's
Instagram.
Eric Ryan.
Oh, is it?
Like, look at that Race the Gentleman photo. I'm assuming that's what that is.
Yeah.
Go back. That one. What?
Oh damn!
that one did really well.
I
That
really
one
wish
blew
I
up.
saw
Dude,
what
that
that was
photo is
like down there.
crazy. It's, you know what it is? It's the colors.
All right, so I'll just do a quick like breakdown of
Yeah.
why this photo works. One, it has dimension, right? We've got
Yep.
foreground here, okay, and that kind of leads you in to this section over here with the motorcycle, and then your eye kind of goes back to this line of cars, and then your eye just kind of keeps going back to the whole like pier in the background. So like, I think about depth a lot when I shoot. That's why a lot of my work has foreground in it, because a photo is a 2D object and you have to be able to translate the depth. If you don't have any depth, it doesn't feel real. So getting depth, having foreground, that's a big part of it. This also just works because the sun's in the right spot. Like
Yeah.
this time of day, it's very bright, it's very hot out. You kind of want to shoot into the shade. Everyone's evenly lit. Nobody's got raccoon eyes going on. There's no harsh like contrast on the cars or anything like that. It works for that. It also works just because of, like you said, the colors work, you know? And the overall content, like a bunch of pre-war like hot rods on a beach. You have the juxtaposition of these older gentlemen here and even older vehicles, and then this like modern scene in the background. So it's kind of timeless in a way. You can't really pinpoint like when it took place.
Yeah. Like I don't see it.
Yeah, that could have been in the 70s, this photo.
Bro, you see
Yeah.
the sporty?
So it all, you know, this is all
That's a
stuff that
sporty.
like at this point in my head, it just happens like that. I just
Can
kind
I
of,
can I buy this photo from you?
you could, yeah,
Yeah, I need this.
yeah, okay.
I dude, we were there this year, I think, or that year.
Me and the Club Loose Media boys try to go every year.
Yeah,
Is that a
dude,
sporting?
this
That's
is
not a
one of my favorite events ever.
Yeah, it's so good. It's
Like,
so good.
If
it's
you don't
just so
fucking
much
invite
fun.
me this year,
I'm
after I
not,
just
I'm not
built-
inviting you. You just got to come.
all right, then I'm going myself. Fuck you. I'm gonna go get a crowd of my own that'll go with me. That'll say that they going with
If
me.
anybody can get me a media pass so that I can actually get into the pits and like get up and close and personal with all
that was
these
without
dudes.
you being in the pits.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I see what you're saying.
Yeah, I tried to get a media pass for like 2022, and it just turned into this interview of like, why should we give you a media pass? And I'd be like, and then they'd be like, why should we give you a media pass? And I'm like, I
Dude,
don't
just
know,
show
like-
them that photo next
Yeah.
time you try.
Yeah.
And that's gonna be it.
So, you know, I'm hoping I would really love to get a media pass and like get in there and really, 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 really like
Yeah, like
put nose to the grindstone on it.
yeah, I don't know why they wouldn't. I mean,
Dude, this looks sick.
like even that photo is sick.
Fucking bird or whatever. Hell
you, boys.
yeah, that's flow.
Yeah.
So
So
what do we got there?
just some bikes, but I liked this photo because the headlight on the scooter is lighting up the bikes. So it kind of like leads you in that way. And it's just like, I didn't set this up or anything. It's just, we were just walking around at night and it was just like that. I
And
was
you
like,
just saw
"That's
the
cool."
light like on the bike and you
Yeah.
were like, there it is.
Yeah. Pro tip, follow the light. Like, look for good light. That's all you got to do. Step number 1, look for good light.
I don't know shit about these kinds of cars, but man, I would
cool.
love something like that.
That's just a good photo. right
Something
there.
just dumped on the ground, but you know it's hitting everything, but we don't give a fuck.
Yeah. It's like the truck is so out of place, but it
Yeah.
also just fits, you know, like color wise, it fits. My boy Christian.
Who eating a pizza out the back like that?
Christian's a maniac.
Yeah, dude.
That's that yellow fever, dude. That's that yellow fever lowrider. Look at the candy paint hitting
That thing
so
was cool.
hard.
That thing was
Oh my
cool.
god!
I think it was like embellished all over. I don't
Yeah,
remember.
no, look at the-
There might have been like some ghosting work in the paint.
yes,
I don't
there is.
remember.
There is.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, what the fuck?
Yeah, it was just that car was going by, and I was just like, swoop.
And then you got to go through all these photos and just pick the ones that are going to make it to your Instagram.
Yeah, you know, like that's something a lot of people don't think
that's
about
sick.
being a photographer. Like, if you've ever spent 5 minutes trying to get a photo, like even if it's a photo of like your food, you know. Now imagine being a photographer. You have to do all those mental calculations like 100 times an hour, right? If you're like on a gig, like if you're shooting somewhere, like getting paid, you're constantly, your brain is just like constantly like analyzing, like Terminator style, where it's like, like the overlay of just like seeing all the pieces, or like in the Lego movie when they can just like see all the bits and be like, here's how to build a motorcycle out of the alleyway, you know, like your brain is just constantly doing this. And that's why like photography is hard, because it is mentally exhausting. Like
Yeah.
after a day of trying to take 100 photos an hour that look like this, you're just shot.
This photo right here, what made you leave it at this angle?
So I liked,
I have a guess.
I
but I wanna hear
liked getting the lead in to kind of show where the car is going off into the horizon. I also liked putting the car down. That's like a rule of thirds, like key point, you know, like lower left. The car is obviously just come off this trailer here, and these dudes are like prepping it to get it ready. I also like that the car is sitting on top of these chevrons, and they're yellow, and the car is green. From this angle, you can see the roof of the car, and you can see how patina it is. It kind of like stands out from all these modern cars that are sitting here. It was just an interesting scene. The light was right. This was our first night at Trog in 2024, and this was from like the balcony of our hotel room, or our motel room where we were staying. So these dudes just happened to be staying here too, and they just like pulled up, got this car off the trailer. They were futzing with it for a long time, and I was like, this is a cool photo app. And I didn't want to like go up and be super aggressive and like get in their faces while they're focusing on trying to get this car running.
Honestly,
and everything.
this is better than whatever you probably would have got.
Yeah.
in that.
I think like a lot of car photographers, especially starting out, they make the mistake of making the car the whole shot. Like edge to edge, the car is it. Like front to back bumper, you've got like a 16th of, space between them and the edge of the frame. And cars tell a story, but they tell a better story when you have some context around them. So putting the car in an environment where it has context, and especially like taking into account the leading lines and all of that, it just kind of works.
Like the line, the house is kind of lined up too. The roofs of the houses. It's almost a straight line on top of the photo, which is interesting.
It just goes off into, the horizon. And I was like, that's cool. It's a leading line. And it also, like, another basic rule is like, look for triangles. Like triangles are an interesting shape. So we got the top of the road there leading down to here, leading it over here, and you've just got this nice triangle.
Oh, yeah.
And it just ends up like your eye doesn't know why it works, but it just works.
One of my favorite parts is the power lines. I don't know why.
Yeah.
I think the fact that you can even see them is awesome.
Yeah, I made sure you could see the power lines.
Yeah, I was going to ask you if you did that. I just figured you had a really good camera. I don't know how this shit works.
Yeah, it's a little of everything. Like the iPhone cameras now are insane. I mean,
Yeah.
Dude, I've taken some pretty silly photos with my iPhone camera lately, and I'm like, what the heck?
They're so good. Modern, like, professional cameras are great, but the iPhone cameras have been so integrated with, like, AI and everything for so long. Even stuff, like, before AI became the trendy thing, they were still, there was still enhancement happening in the background to make the photos better digitally. Like, all the blur, all the, like, depth of field and all that, that's all fake. Like the camera can't actually
makes photos look
the lens
really good.
doesn't.
No,
you're
the
not
lens,
doing that.
The lens doesn't
with
do that.
anything.
No.
Yeah,
Mm-mm.
interesting.
It's all fake. So
Oh, wow, I didn't know that.
the phones can do some amazing stuff, and it's a different kind of amazing than a real camera can take.
Yeah.
But a phone photo, you can't necessarily get the detail you need at a certain.
The thing is with the phone versus your camera is I don't know how to use your camera. The phone is
I don't know how to
pretty
use my camera either.
user friendly. You obviously do.
Dude, I took a sick photo of Chris's car, and it's very. I feel like it's very James Graves-esque. I'm
Okay,
sending it
let's
to
see.
Malcolm right now.
Let's compare.
Let's go.
I'm sending
Let's
it to
go.
Malcolm right now. Yeah, thank you. Thank you.
Let's see it.
Hopefully people don't just send you random shit after you say that. That would be terrifying.
Well, definitely after you just said that.
Yeah, I think so.
Pandora's box.
Did I send that to Malcolm? Yeah, I sent it to Malcolm. Dude, okay, so I saw Chris's car. So what I like about your photos is like it takes you there. But like, look,
Yeah.
this is I'm
Okay,
James Graves
okay.
right here, bro. Check it out.
I see. He's got the foreground.
Yeah,
got the foreground,
That's
the car
an
is-
iPhone photo, dude. I did not know my phone can do that.
The car is framed up well. It's like kind of in the middle of the frame.
You don't really like that, right?
No, it works here. So
Okay.
like
It's because it's like 1, 2.
rule of thirds is all about just like putting the car on a point where it's gonna create accenture. I don't even know if I'm using that word right, but
What is accenture? I believe you. Whatever it is, you're right.
So,
You're
like,
right.
I'll just say right away, right? You've got the one white car in the room, so it sticks out that way. It's also the only car that's pointing this way, so it sticks out even more. It's got a good side profile going on. You have these cars in the foreground that are leading into it, so your eye's looking at it that way. You've got all these vertical posts in the background that make the image look upright, which is good. Having straight lines in a photo, that helps a lot.
Triangle. Once you point out the triangle, I'm like, can I unsee this triangle that James is talking
You never will. Or the Fibonacci golden ratio spiral. I don't know. A lot of people like put that over like photos.
Why
of
did that?
cats
Why
and
did
stuff
that
for
word
memes.
just trigger something in?
It's all
did
math.
we learn about that?
I don't know.
Does
It's
that,
all
that
math.
It doesn't
you're-
sound familiar to
You're
me.
telling me that Fibonacci does not.
I've
ring
heard
a
that
bell?
word before, but I don't know what it means.
From where? School?
Yeah.
Probably.
There you go.
What the heck is
So
this?
what does this fucking mean?
Yeah, what is that?
This doesn't.
Fucking what is
I'm just looking at a squiggly line with like multiples in it. I don't really.
I don't like.
I don't remember what the heck this was. It. I think it was in math, probably. Now
Yeah,
that
there's
I'm looking
so
at it.
many insane crossovers between mathematics and nature. Like it almost makes nature feel like something that's man-made.
Whoever put that one on the pyramid, just shut the fuck up.
Yeah. What the fuck
That
is
doesn't,
that?
that's not how that works. Bro.
That's
Yeah,
a
that's not how that
reach.
works.
I mean, it's just a reach. But yeah, what, in like flowers and shit, I guess they see it.
Yeah, or even, that photo of that green car that we just had up.
Okay.
Like, if you overlaid this over that, you'd probably see that this little spiral here is right where the green car is, or thereabouts.
And then it starts.
It just works. I can't explain it.
Dude, what about that one that
You look at
Malcolm
Donald
was,
Trump's
yeah,
hair.
yeah, they're trying to analyze Donnie's fucking hair with the Fibonacci
That's
sequence.
amazing.
That,
That's it right there.
the golden ratio.
Yeah, golden
is-
for sure.
Yeah, what they're calling it.
Yep.
Dude, okay. Do I know what it takes to take a good photo? Nope. But I'm glad that I don't, because I know that people like you, James, do, and that we get to analyze it from like.
I like analyzing
Yeah,
photos. That's fun.
do we occasionally get a good photo like that one? Do we occasionally get a good photo? Yeah, I've seen
Yeah.
you take some pretty good photos.
Show
Frankie.
me your favorite drifting photo you ever took.
Oh yeah.
Oh, man.
I want to see that.
We got to go back a little ways.
All right, that's fine.
That's dude.
I want to see that.
All right, we got to scroll probably back to like 21, 22.
Damn, you know it though.
Just keep going. You'll see it. You'll know when you see it. It's an in-car shot.
Brian Happ.
And it's two
That's crazy. He said you'll know when you see it.
Bloodmasters cars. Do.
You like that one?
Oh, that's from
That's a nice photo.
Radwood 2023. Keep going.
Malcolm likes BMW.
Because I was thinking, like, as we were talking about this, I was like, it's hard to get a good drifting photo, honestly. To me. I don't really like them that much.
I like them
But-
when I can feel them.
Yeah, sometimes you
talking
get
about?
one and you're like, oh, that actually is awesome.
Oh, that's it right there. Leonardo DiCaprio. Yeah.
That's always, like, I've seen other photos like this where it's like an in-car one. That's like everyone's favorite.
That's from, who was I riding with in there? I think this is out of a right-hand drive car because I'm shooting
Yeah.
out I think that's Nick D'Alessio's car I was riding in.
Oh, nice.
But yeah, I think this is it. I think this kind of summarizes, if you were going to turn drifting into a movie poster, I think this is it.
Now, what's your favorite parts of this?
Partially just the fact that it's this moment that you don't really register if you're riding in a car. It doesn't really register if you're taking footage necessarily. Like, I think that's the power of photos, is not to capture time, but to freeze it, Like, you freeze a moment, you can see it in a light that you didn't necessarily
Yep.
see it before, right?
Yeah.
Because it's just the blink of an eye.
Yeah, video, you could basically relive a moment.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you're not
Photos
looking at it
aren't
like
really
this.
reliving. It's capturing. It's freezing it.
It's giving other people the opportunity to interpret and feel something about that moment that,
Yeah.
you might not necessarily feel. Like, this might, pump somebody up and be like, wow, that's cool. I want to go drifting, I'll say right away, the sky's fake.
I was going to ask you, like, is this like natural? Like,
No, that's a dropped in sky. Part of my digital artistry, but like
pretty good.
just overall, I like this photo because it was kind of a cool moment, like riding on the razor's edge. Drift cars can spin out.
This is hairpin, right?
This is coming
Hairpin.
through.
In front of the
midfield.
bleachers.
No, this is midfield. I think.
It
I don't
looks like
actually-
hairpin to me too, but I don't know.
Because isn't that the tire wall back there? In the back.
That
right there.
I think that's the tire wall on the run up to first turn, though.
Yeah.
Like, I'm pretty sure this is coming through midfield because we're moving fast. If we were coming off hairpin, we'd be moving a little slower.
I just
Well,
don't know
maybe
which way it would be coming from.
I don't remember.
Because they're both right-hand turns.
It's all a blur, honestly. Like,
Yeah.
at this point, it's such
Dude, I don't know, but all I'm feeling is like, it's like pulling me that way, like, whoa.
Yeah. Part
Because
of
it's
it,
so like directional. Like,
Yeah.
I feel the speed going this way.
yeah.
Oh,
And,
I love it.
part of it is that, like, we as like a Western society read from left to right. So a lot of photo composition for us makes sense when it's left to right.
Huh.
Kind of leads you in. If you go somewhere where they read right to left, it would probably be the opposite. So your eye just kind of, since we read left to right, your eye just kind of naturally starts in the upper left corner of a frame. And it's just because you've been reading books your whole life or whatever. reading anything online. It's
that's
just
so weird. I
where you
never
start.
noticed that,
you know,
actually.
like on a screen, it doesn't matter. You start in the top left. So from there, you have the cars and you move in and you kind of like have the speed of the pavement being the last thing you see. And I also like that in the foreground, you kind of have a tiny little bit of Nick's car and you also have all the smoke coming off of his car.
So it shows you're in a car too.
Yeah.
Like
and
it's
that's
Yeah,
the other thing.
you're a big guy with foreground.
Yeah,
you
yeah,
can see
yeah.
that
Yeah.
obviously because
Yeah.
almost every photo has something that is
Yeah.
in the foreground, either blurred or obviously
foreground
it's
is
gotta
very
be.
important. It's like what brings you into the photo. So,
So you're saying if you flipped this, if you inverted this, it would feel different to us.
it probably would. Yeah.
I agree with that.
A trick that I've learned along the way is like, if you like, let's say I'm shooting like a couple, like an engagement shoot or something, and I want to shoot the couple like let's say they're like laying down in some long grass and you want to get that shot from overhead. If you like take that shot in post and then flip it the other way, it has a whole different vibe to it.
like flip the camera and face it to you.
Yeah, like if
Like
you
type B.
no, if you rotate.
Hey.
Yes, yeah. Get in the photo with the couple. Yeah, no, but if you like, if you take your photos and flip them upside down, they can have a totally different vibe. You know?
Yeah.
Just Malcolm sitting there like this over the couple, but it's a picture of it.
Like when someone asks you to take a photo of them and you just take photos of yourself.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, thank you. Yeah. So, there's just a lot of consideration, and this is just stuff you learn over time from like sucking forever and then like just getting better and better and better. And like the thing that I always tell people, just keep shooting. Like you're not going to get better if you don't keep shooting, and you're not going to get better if you don't look at other people's work. Like find photographers that inspire you, and really like I spend so much time looking at other people's work and looking back at my own, being like, what made this photo actually like pop off on Instagram? Why do I like this photo? Like, what's so good about it? And it's like, there's only so much that you can do without taking inspiration from other people and without like kind of turning it into your own. You know? You got to have a place to start. If you just go out and think like, I'm going to be a superstar photographer as soon as I buy a fancy camera, it's just not going to happen.
Yeah.
It takes so many years, so many like times getting screwed over, so many times of like dropping the ball. You learn from your own mistakes, like maybe a client got out to you last week and a week has gone by and you haven't gotten back to them. You're like, oops, I lost that client because I didn't respond fast enough. Or, let's just say like you get to a shoot and you forget your memory cards or your battery or something like that. Like you're not going to do that more than once because you learn.
So how do you get involved with Club Loose?
So let's fast forward from like 2016, this jewelry company picks me up.
Yeah.
They brought me in as a freelancer, like working one day a week. So for the majority of 2016, especially the latter half, I was photographing like a wedding or something on one of my days off. I was working at this jewelry company on the other day off. And then I was working like second shift at Trader Joe's like 5 days a week.
Dude,
so like
You were probably cranking hours.
I was hustling.
Yeah, for a solid like 4 months, I had like 3 days off a month. And that's what it takes. If like I was so
Yeah, no,
So-
I would mentally collapse.
I was like so about like getting my goal was at this point a photography career. I was
Yeah.
like, I want this. I want to get paid full time to use a camera. I'm good at it. I love doing it. I don't care what I'm shooting. So I like worked like that for 4 or 5 months, just like basically no days off, and I was young. I could do it. Couldn't do it now. Probably I'd just like melt, but
Real.
yeah, the jewelry company.
Frankie's like, yep.
Yeah. The jewelry company at the end of the year invited me to their holiday party, and the creative director brought me into a side room and she slid an offer letter across the table and was like, "Hey, we want you to come on board full time." So
Yeah, this is gonna get good.
Yeah,
right here.
what the fuck? So then you had to be like, 1 million or nothing.
Oh my God, dude. I probably could have gotten more than I asked for, but what I asked for was like more money than I'd ever seen in my life. So I just did it. No questions asked. I was like, I don't know anything about shooting jewelry. So all of a sudden I went from this guy who was freelancing, like stocking shelves and shooting weddings, to working in a studio for a $50 million a year jewelry company.
What the fuck?
That's sick.
And like they have another photographer that worked there, and she like trained me up. I was like catching on instantly, but she trained me up on like how to shoot jewelry in a studio environment, like how to manage reflections. That's a big part of it. With cars, you got to know how to manage your reflections. You got to know like what is in this scene that I'm going to see in this car. You got to know how to work around it. Excuse me. Especially black cars. Black cars are just a mirror. Pro tip, if you're going to shoot a black car, find somewhere open. You don't want to shoot a black car anywhere where you're going to see everything around that black car in all your shots. So I started working there, and you guys know TL, Tara Lutz, Matt Petty's girlfriend.
Yeah.
She worked there. So we worked in different departments, but our
At the
departments...
jewelry place?
Yeah. She still works there.
Hell yeah.
She has like, she's gone from like being one of the new product development, like, you know, general people to I think she runs new product development now. Shout out TL. Good job. Killing it.
Yeah.
But like she was in new product development and I was working in the photo studio. So we overlapped a lot because like NPD would have to fill us in on new collections. They'd tell us like, hey, like don't shoot this yet. It's still in development. Like this is just a prototype, et cetera, et cetera. So she was up in our space a lot. And we just kind of like would chit chat every once in a while. And then one day I was like down there and she was like chit chatting with me and she didn't really know I was into cars. And I like brought up cars for some reason or whatever. And she was like, oh, you like cars? And I was like, yeah. And I like, this scene will never leave my head. This was the moment. These were the words that came out of her mouth. She said, I have to show you my boyfriend's drift car. And that was it.
And it was Petty.
And it's
It was
Matt Petty.
Yeah.
That couldn't have been any more
Yeah, I miss
perfect.
Petty. I haven't seen him in a minute. Probably because I
know.
haven't been to Club Loose in a while.
So
Fuck. God damn it.
that was it. That was like the before Club Loose to the after Club Loose. And from there on, it was like, that's it. You know, I think Freedom Moves 2017 was like my first event. I would just show up. TL was like, yeah, just show up. Like, we'll get you in. We'll give you a vest, blah, blah, blah. I didn't even have like a media pass or anything. I would just show up and they would just like provide. And I was like, this is awesome.
That is amazing.
Yeah. And then after a few rounds, like they were like, hey, you can start like applying for media passes and stuff right now. And it just kind of grew from there. Like I had no idea what I was doing, you know, like
So you just started
absolutely
seeing
none.
crazy shit.
Dude, I remember
crazy.
like,
One Jay-Z, oh my God, is the best thing ever. Whoosh.
yeah, it's just like the last 10 years of like teenager into like late 20 something where I was like, man, I love cars. It was just like, boom, all of a sudden
Missed
I'm
that
finally
little,
in it.
yeah, that
you know?
discovery. Like,
Yeah.
oh.
And it was like, you know, I'm seeing like E30s with like LS swaps in them and stuff like that.
Oh,
I've never
gosh.
seen
Yeah,
a
that
swapped
was
car before. I
probably
was like,
nuts,
dude, like,
Do you remember like what that feeling was like? Ah, dude, that was probably awesome.
It was mind blowing.
Yeah.
It was absolutely mind blowing and also ear shattering because I had no idea how loud anything was going to be. You know, like
What year?
crazy.
27. So Z's existed. So straight
Oh,
pipe
God.
Z's existed.
Yeah, dude.
Oh,
Like one of the early cars that always stood out to me was Rich's Z, his 350Z.
Yeah.
my buddy owns that.
Because like, oh really? Because it had I don't remember like what the livery had. I don't know, it was kind of like pink like jagged design on it or something like that. I don't remember like
Oh, you know what? I don't know if it's that one. It's the one that
forgetting it too.
yeah, but
the
like
one he bought or he won in a raffle was black, I think.
Yeah, I don't remember.
I
it
definitely
is a
didn't
black.
look-
This Z was black, but it just had vinyl on it.
Oh,
And
okay.
it wasn't over the whole car. It was just like decals on it.
Maybe.
But
Hey, Brad, if this is your car,
it always stuck out to me. Like before I knew who anybody was, it always stuck out to me because he would always lose his back bumper on a lap. Like it would always be dragging by the end of the lap. Like it never came off completely. It was always like one side was still bracketed on. So like you get back to grid and it was just like every single time. And I was like, oh, that's Rich Whiteman. Like everybody just knows Rich Whiteman, you know, like. So it just kind of like went from there, man. And I didn't go a whole lot in the beginning. I think I went for like an hour of freedom moves or something because I had a shoot right after or something like that. But then I think I went back for either haunted moves, something like that. And then I took my girlfriend at the time, now wife, for stuffed moves. And she got put in a drift car.
Oh, yeah.
And like she got her mind blown there. Oh, haunted moves, I think. Oh man, I got put in my like shortly after I started going there, I got put in my first drift car, and it was Ben Sarley's drift taxi. I don't know if you guys know who Ben Sarley is. He was like an old school dude that used to drift at Club Loose. He had this drift taxi. It was like a 5 Series with I think like an M5 swap in it or something like that.
You don't know this, Frankie? Come on, please. I thought I was.
Nope.
I was looking at Frankie like the whole time. I'm like,
Nope.
please,
Don't know.
give us an explanation, please.
Yeah, but I got
Damn it, Frankie.
I got put in the back passenger side seat of that car for night laps. This is like a 600 horsepower drift taxi, you
Dude,
know?
and if you're in the back seat, do you know
At
how
night.
far that shit swings around? You're going like this
Yeah.
when the front of the car is only doing this.
I was like,
you know what I mean?
it's like so insane. I had the time of my life. I was just like, yes, this is so cool.
Yo, Club Loose at night is also scary as
Yeah,
shit.
very
Because
Side
there's
note.
no lights.
There's
Yeah.
no lights. Back when there was Friday night drift parties, if you have an S13 with the factory pop-ups, they're not the strongest lights.
Yeah.
And like, dude, I remember just coming into turn 1. I have bad astigmatism too, bro. It's all these lines in my eyes,
my God,
and I'm like,
dude.
Might as well be closing your eyes.
where
Yeah.
the hell is the turn right here?
Yeah. You're like, where's the
And then
apex?
right up the hill, and then it's also pitch black because
Yup.
now you get the light from
Yeah.
all the
Yeah,
stands.
Yeah, that's the
Yeah,
worst
yeah,
part.
yeah.
And then it's like super dark, and then you come down the hill, and then you feel fucking cool as fuck.
Yeah.
You hit that infield, everybody's there because it's Friday night drift. Dude, what a time, dude. Friday night drift was awesome.
Yeah. Yeah.
It was like $100. It was like $75 to drive
Yeah.
at Club Loose. You would get out of work and just jet the fuck over right down Route 18.
Try to leave early. Yeah.
Like just fly down to fucking Club Loose.
Dude, it was so cool in the beginning. I mean, it's still really cool.
It still
but,
is
like,
awesome. That's what I'm saying. I need
Club
to
Loose
get
for
make
life.
my way over there.
I'll never like not go back there. At least I know like life is, you know, moving a lot of people away from Club Loose, but it'll definitely always be a home for me. I can't thank like the entire Club Loose community enough, or the Naps, or anybody else who makes this shit happen. You guys, like, it is a village.
You're literally part of it.
Yeah.
You're
I know.
Yeah.
you're like part of it.
Yeah,
yeah, you're a
you know,
pretty big
like-
part of it.
yeah.
Club Loose makes, man.
Like I
that's
was
what it
talking,
is.
I was talking to another buddy of mine who shoots photos too. Shout out Javi, but a buddy of mine named Javi.
Yeah, I know
You
him.
know Javi?
Yeah.
Probably.
Jeff's cousin or Jeff's nephew.
Yeah. But I was like, yo, you know James? Gravy? Oh, James, dude, you should. I totally forgot what he told me to ask you. I'm so sorry. But he was just talking about how good of a person, one of his favorite photographers. I'm like, okay, perfect. I can't wait. I can't wait to meet him.
Dude,
And now,
Javi's
now
cool.
here you are.
Javi's so
You're
cool.
a part of it.
Yeah.
Like your
Yeah,
photos,
the
your
media
videos.
guys are a big part of it.
Yeah.
I'm happy to be a part of it.
Dude, it's so cool.
I got a shout out. So this shirt is from a company organization. I don't know if they're still around. I hope they are, called Drifting for Kittens.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I got to shout them out. One of the like highlights of my time in the drift community is my wife and I. We have 2 cats. We used to have 3 cats. She got
Malcolm just left. He fucking. He's the cat guy.
for the record, the 3rd cat, Coco. He's still alive and well. He lives with my parents now because trying to manage 3 cats while your wife is going through like the med school thing and all of that, it was just like too much to try and handle. So Coco lives with my parents. My dad loves him. Coco loves my dad. Like he's this little professor cat now. He's all chubby. He has a bow tie. He just like hangs out with my dad all day.
Sick.
But my mom's a big cat lady. She's a big animal person. She's such a like
Well, she was a horse person, right?
Yeah. She's always been
What
big
the
into
fuck?
the horses. Yeah.
No. Not the what the fuck to the horse thing. What the fuck? Where the hell did that come from? Frank?
He was a horse trainer or something, right?
So yeah, I posted a thing for about Father's Day on my Instagram with all this old footage that my mom gave me from. I was in the Devon Horse Show as like a toddler, basically.
What
like
the
21
fuck?
months old. My mom loves horses, so she put me on this little pony, and I'm like riding around. This is like 1991. I'm like riding around. She's like walking me around on this horse. But anyway, so my mom loves animals, and you know they still live in this like borough of South Coatesville that's got a lot of like property turnover and a lot of like rental people who like dump their pets, unfortunately, and stuff like that. So
Fuck.
she takes care of like all the cats that end up in her yard and gets them like spayed and neutered and stuff. She got this pregnant mama cat in. The cat had kittens. And in 2019, my girlfriend, now wife, adopted one of the kittens who became Coco. And so he's a male cat. Male cats can tend to have this issue with their urethra, where like they make too many crystals in their bladder and it blocks up their urethra, and it can be a really like
And they can't
serious
piss.
issue. They can't
Holy
pee. Yeah.
crap.
So Coco started to have these issues like late 2021, and we had like no money. Like this was after the pandemic. I had like no job. I was just starting to like make a name for myself, like freelancing and all of that. My wife's still like going through residency and all that. Like we had no money. Coco got super sick, and I put out a GoFundMe because like we needed some way to take care of this cat. Like we had no money to do it. And the drift community came together, and I think like in total, they like funded like $4.5 or $5 grand for us for this cat. So like again, thank you, drift community. You guys, like, thank you so much. I will forever be in your debt.
Hell yeah, for Coco, man.
Yeah. So Coco's doing great. He's alive and well. He's with his cat grandparents, and he's living his best life. And that is because of Drifting for Kittens, and it's because of Club Loose, and it's because of everybody.
Hell
So,
yeah. That's insane, man.
Yeah, I really
What a-
say,
dude.
Yeah, you don't usually hear those stories. You usually
Yeah.
hear the opposite. So that's pretty good.
Sometimes the community can really band together and get shit done for real.
Yeah. So that
Like-
was really nice.
Yeah.
I'm super thankful for all of it.
I love Sammy of Drifting for Kittens. I've
Yeah.
known her since I started drifting.
Yeah.
She's always doing
She's super solid.
selling the coolest stickers too.
Yeah, absolutely. Her whole aesthetic to me is absolutely hilarious.
Yeah,
So like,
she's awesome.
I'm all about it.
Sweet.
Do I have time to tell one more hilarious Club Loose story?
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely, bro.
All right. So I think it was like my first summer at Club Loose. I still didn't know anybody. This was like summer 2018. I had the WRX. I bought the WRX like early 2018, like February. And I went to the track for a 2-day event. Might have been ECB or something like that. And this was before I was like camping out in the pits. So at the end of the day, I'm camped out all the way out in the field, like where spectators are. But like spectators at this point were still camping out like way out there, like almost back kind of where like the shop is.
Yeah, that's
crazy.
far as shit. And that is Mosquito fucking Alley, dude.
Oh, the whole
That's-
place is Mosquito Alley,
Yeah,
man.
but particularly in that little grassy knoll where there's nothing else.
Yeah,
Dude, that is
The grassy knoll.
the grassy knoll. Yeah.
that's oh my gosh.
Yeah, just me and JFK's ghost.
Dude, nice.
So it's like late at night, and you know, like after a day of drifting and then a night of like drinking with like the few people that I did know, I knew like 3 people there. Like a night of drinking, you know, playing past the Dutchie, all of that. I went back to my car, and I'm like camping out in my car for the night. So I get my car all ready to camp out, and I got my air mattress. Like the WRX is awesome because if you fold the front seats forward and then push them all the way forward, there's enough room in the back to fit a twin air mattress.
Does
Wow.
it
Yeah.
really?
Yeah. I'm 6 foot and I sleep in my car comfortably.
That I'm not a you know what?
Now he's getting a Subaru.
You're sold you sold me on it. I need one.
Yeah.
Malcolm.
Dude, I'm telling you, man, best car I've ever had. It's so good.
Dude, Malcolm's getting one for my brother, and like I feel like I need one too. Because everyone's dude, Derek bought a Fit. You saw that?
Derek's bought three cars in the last 3 weeks.
They're all at my house. But no, and while everybody's buying Honda Fits, we should be buying. It's got to be dropping the other things down. Like that is a feature that people probably don't know. Because when I look at those hatches, I would have never thought that.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, it's got to be kind of smaller in there because
It's real comfy.
Because it's a sedan car that has a hatch version. So I assumed it's probably small.
It's real comfy.
6 foot.
Yeah. And if you get one of those this is something I recently discovered. If you get one of those camp pads that's really just made for one person and is like one person's width, you can just put the passenger seat forward and then
so it's
sleep
even
on
less
that
setup.
side. So
Yeah.
it's even more like Top Gear. And then you have a whole other half of the back to like put all your stuff down,
You're
whatever.
a Top Gear Challenge watcher.
Yeah,
I forgot.
yeah.
That was one
And
of the
then-
first pieces of information.
I hate moving my driver's seat as a manual car driver. I hate it because it never feels like it goes back to the right spot.
Put the clutch down. You're like,
Yeah.
Like,
So
that's so real. What are you doing?
I mean, I'm the type of person that doesn't move a seat no matter what. Like if I get in it in someone else's car, I never move the seat.
I don't touch
yeah,
it.
yeah.
I'll just drive. I'll drive like this.
Yeah.
And they're
try
like, move
not
the
to.
seat, get comfortable. I'm like, nah, that's
Yeah.
you. That's your seat.
No,
try not
that's
to.
absolutely correct.
It's so tricky though.
Yeah.
So it's like 11:30 at night, maybe midnight. I'm winding down. I'm out in the middle of this field. There's like other cars around me, but like everybody's like gone to bed for the night, all of that. I'm sitting in the front passenger seat, like probably brushing my teeth or something like that. I've got the rear all ready to go. I've got the keys sitting in the cup holder.
No.
And I get out. For whatever reason, I locked the door and then stood up out of the car. Well, the passenger seat is still open. And then I shut the door and the car just goes, boop. I'm like, so cute. Oh my God. Cool. And I'm like, fuck. I'm in like t-shirt and gym shorts, no shoes on, phone's in the car. Everything is in the car. I'm like, I'm going to have to schlep a quarter mile to the pits barefoot, find the most sober person I can that's still awake. And then I don't know what I'm going to do.
Yeah,
like,
what's the next
how are,
part?
like,
What's the next plan?
What are they going
What's
to
the
do?
next step
Like,
in the plan?
give me a floor to sleep on in the shanty or something? Like, what am I going to do? I was like so determined for this to not happen. I was like, no, this is not fucking happening right now. Like, no way. I refuse.
Yes.
I refuse. So I'm like working my little squirrel brain, like, what the hell can I do? And I'm thinking like,
With bare feet, by the way. And
With
for
bare
those of you,
feet.
for the people who don't understand what the pits look like at Club, barefoot in the pits where
And
it's
he's
like
far back.
coarse gravel,
Yeah.
really mainly,
Yeah.
and grass.
And
but
bits
in the
of
grass, what sucks is you can't see what's in the grass.
no, it's like stepping on a Lego and shag
Yeah,
carpet.
like pain.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
and it's late.
Yeah.
And your phone is in the car, so
Yeah.
that means you're dark.
And no light, nothing.
No light.
Yeah. So I'm like,
This sounds great.
I'm like, what the hell am I gonna do, dude? Like,
Sleep
I
on
don't
the
even
roof.
know. Yeah, I was like, am I just gonna lay down in the grass here and like collect dew in the morning to
Ooh,
drink?
roof,
Like,
a roof would have been a good idea. That would have been good.
so I'm like, oh shit, my windows were down just enough
Oh, you're good.
that I
Oh.
could get my hands in up to my wrist.
Oh, you're good.
And I'm like, okay, I can get a hand inside the car. I'm thinking to myself, maybe, I'm like, I don't even know if my locks work this way, but maybe if I can get something in there and like leverage the inner like door latch, I can like get the door to pop open
Yes.
from the inside.
Yes,
you know?
yes.
And I'm like, what the hell am I going to use? And I'm like, windshield
Windshield wiper. Yup.
Yeah. So-
Yes,
Yeah.
bro. Come
Yeah.
on, dude.
So-
come on.
popped-
That was sick. You can't make that shit up.
Pop
Yeah,
the
call
windshield
me.
wiper off the car and I get it in there up to my wrist and I'm like trying to like pry on the like inner door latch and it's
Yes.
just like a little flappy guy so you can get lots of leverage on it.
Yeah.
But like it's not
There's no
budging.
button for you to just go.
No, there's no button. Well, there was a button maybe on my driver's door.
Oh,
but, like,
but you are on the
I don't think those
passenger
windows
side.
were down. Yeah, I think only my rear windows were down.
Fuck.
So I'm like, fuck. And I'm like trying at this for like 3 or 4 minutes. I'm like, I don't know what to do, dude. Like, obviously, like if the doors are locked, like you can't pull the inner door handle and
Yep.
expect it to open. I'm like, shit. So I'm like about to accept defeat. And I'm like, fuck it. One more time. Let's pull on the outer door handle. And I pull on it and the door opens. And the alarm goes off and it's like you could probably hear it for 4 miles.
Oh,
I
yeah.
have hella horns on the car too.
Yeah,
And
that
so
shit
like
was
They're just point blanking everybody else that's within like a quarter-mile radius of me. And I dive for the keys and I hit the button and shut it off. And I'm like, why did that just work?
What if you just
And
like
then-
bonked it just enough, just a little lock guy?
That's
Boop.
what happened. The little butterfly switch. While I was trying to open the door, I ended up accidentally flicking the butterfly switch and unlocking the door without knowing. Just dumb luck.
Lucky guy.
So you just went to open it. You're like, maybe it'll just be open.
Yeah. It was just,
And it
I
was.
was like, and it was. And I was just like, dodge that bullet.
There was one of my first times showing up to Club Blues. It was Hot Moves. Usually it's in May. Is it hot?
Yes,
Yeah.
it's hot.
Hot Moves. No,
Hot Moves is like a July
June,
thing.
right?
June,
Or
July. Yeah,
Nonetheless,
so
it was Hot
it's
Moves.
when it's real hot.
I was in the tech line, and while I was getting tech, like I looked over to the left, and there's somebody in a kiddie pool passed the fuck out, just like arms or legs, like the bottom half of your legs, so knees and below, out of the pool.
Yeah.
And your elbows
Yep.
and above, so you by your hands out of the pool. So just their torso was in the pool, and I was like, "What the fuck?"
Yeah.
Hot move.
Yep. That's it, dude. I just told my wife last week. I was like, "Yo, I'm thinking about getting us a kiddie pool because."
Dude, get one a Tractor Supply, man. Them like water trough things.
Oh my
It's just
god.
kind of sick. I
Yeah.
don't know. Might be the move.
Fits my country persona. so,
Yeah, that'd be sick.
We got some questions, comments, concerns. I'm
Yep.
just gonna run through some of these real quick.
All
What
right.
do we got?
Ricardo, he asks, "Are you for or against cropping photos?"
Oh, dude, Ricardo, what's up, bro? Ricardo's been following me forever, and I just started following him last week because we started chumming it up at the track. Ricardo, what's up, buddy? Cleanest S13, S14.
S13, 180 SX,
yeah.
still 80.
He has
It's a
such a nice
Soleil.
looking
Yeah.
car. I'm not against cropping photos. I think a photo should be croppable. I think the more latitude you have when you shoot it, the more options you can deliver to a potential client. So this is me thinking as someone who is shot for brands, shot for companies, like worked with graphic designers internally, externally, all of that. They like to have options. So like, you know, even some of my broker clients that I work with now, they'll be like, hey, can you like shoot extra wide on this one because we're thinking about putting it in this email, or maybe it's a horizontal photo that you need to crop vertical at some point for like a stinger or something like that. So I think if there's a purpose for it, or you think you're gonna need that crop down the line, yeah, shoot wider, crop your photo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that like a thing that people are like against that?
Yeah, I was about to ask that. Is that like
There's
what's the equivalent of that for drifting? It's like
Not using a handbrake?
no, I feel like cropping a photo is like
not
it's like putting a sticker for your Defi gauge that's fake on the car. That's what cropping a photo is.
I guess.
Or
That's
putting
pretty,
the TE37
No, that's
spoke.
pretty bad though.
I mean, that's what I did. That's why I was,
yeah,
that's what I was
don't
saying.
even know what the equivalent would be. But yeah, I think like depending on how much like, you know, space you have in your camera. Like my camera's 45 megapixels, which is like 8,000 pixels on the long side, a little more than that, 8,200. So like I can crop a lot and retain a lot of detail.
I feel like when I read that, I'm like, it sounds like not cropping is cool or something.
No, or
There-
maybe that's what you think
Well,
would be cool.
There is like
I don't
like, you know, some photographers will be like, oh, you know, like crop in camera and stuff like that. And it's like the reality is that just doesn't always work
Yeah.
because
Okay.
like I said, like somebody down the line, depending on who you're shooting for or what you're shooting for, somebody down the line might not be able to use a certain crop. You got to give them.
I'm going to go with your
I feel like
opinion on this.
Yeah.
That's equivalent
Whoa,
to
who's that?
like a angle kit and no angle kit type of thing.
Oh,
don't
okay.
know.
Maybe. No. Yeah. Cause then like,
I don't know.
cause then what I'm thinking about people who don't crop are like film. You couldn't just be like, whoop, with film, couldn't you?
Can't, like film as in video or film as in
Or
film?
like
Film photo.
yeah, like film
Analog.
photography. Yeah.
You can. Analog photos have so much grain, even like lower ASA exposure, you're still gonna see the grain in there. I mean, like the nice thing about film is it has no limit, right? So like you can take like a 35 millimeter piece of film stock and put it through an enlarger and blow it up to be like a 20 by 30 print. And
But can you choose to grab like a section of that?
if you scan it in digitally, you still could. Yeah, yeah. If you digitize it,
But
for sure.
prior, I'm saying like the old way was
have to, like, cut it.
No cropping would happen really, typically. So that's why I'm like, it's the people who like, just like people who like shovel heads, dude.
Yeah.
It's literally that.
Nerd shit.
You'd be surprised by how much
It's-
older photos were edited. Like you'll
Oh,
see a lot
really?
of a lot of dudes who are like, we're gonna do all this before Photoshop, and they did. They just did it in a dark room. Like that's what
Yeah.
dark rooms were for.
That's what made it cool to me. Like, it's
if
like,
you-
what can you do?
Yeah, look up like old school. Like look up any old film photography that's like marked up. You can find it all over Google. Like the amount of editing that goes into it, like tons and tons of editing.
Damn,
Like,
that sounds
you know,
nuts.
they're not like content aware filling shit like they are now or using AI or anything like that. But like, yeah, they dodge and burn and like potentially like add things in or remove things if they could get away with it. Like it's
I
just
could see them
kinda-
adding like UFOs in the sky.
Yeah, it could. Like
Whoa.
it was a lot easier to doctor stuff back then.
Yeah.
You know, like so much easier.
No way, this
I
guy
can see that.
trying to start some shit, man.
I'm just saying, I could see
the other
that.
day, remember when we were talking about what were we talking about? Obama doing something.
I don't know.
Yes, we were. And guess what? That pod got taken down.
Oh.
Didn't I screenshot and send it to you? We were talking about
No, yeah,
something.
yeah, I remember.
We were talking about something, and then
We were going crazy on that one.
yeah, but why did it get deleted? Like, come on.
No, we said something. Oh, I know I got fucking deleted. Malcolm. Was it that one where you showed the whole trailer 28 years later?
Oh yeah, that's why.
Oh, that's why I got deleted?
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's a trailer. We're trying to show people the trailer. You should be happy.
Right? That's
The
what I
fuck?
said.
That movie's awesome, by the way. See
Yeah.
it.
Oh, you did
didn't
see it? Oh,
Yeah.
How do you like how that was shot and everything?
You know,
I
like
love that.
Danny Boyle does so much cool stuff. Like ignores rules like you must shoot in 8K. Like ignores all that stuff. Like the original, 28 days later was shot on like such low budget cameras. Like one of the coolest. I like took a deep dive into all his production stuff after we saw 28 years later, and it was like. The funniest thing that I saw was, they did all the like with Cillian Murphy, when he's like first out of the hospital and he's just running through like an empty London.
Yeah.
They didn't have the budget to shut down the streets. And the police were like, well, you can't stop people from crossing, like traffic and stuff, but you can ask them nicely. So Danny Boyle went out at 4 a.m. to film Cillian Murphy like running around London. And his like idea was that, well, the only people running around at 4 a.m. are like dudes, So he brought his like teenage daughter out, his like 18-year-old daughter and her friends, and
This is crazy.
had them like stand at either end of like the section of road that they were trying to film on, and just kind of like flag down the cars and like put the sweet talk on the guys and be like, oh, do you mind like hanging out for a minute while my dad films this scene with Cillian Murphy? He's a really big star, like. That was
worked.
it. That was it. Like
That's crazy.
one of the most like disruptive zombie movies ever made. And it was like shot on a shoestring.
I can't believe that they didn't pay to show any. They didn't pay to show any of that.
They like didn't have the budget. You just got to find
That
those
just goes to
workarounds.
show you that New York City is unlike any other fucking city out there because you could never fucking just like wiggle your way through that.
No,
You know what I mean?
Why not? You could
Times Square is never empty.
I forget what movie it is. There's a movie that holds the record for like the most expensive
Yeah,
shot.
with Tom Cruise. We were talking about
I think
this the
it's
other
Vanilla
day.
Sky, maybe. I've never seen
Actually,
it.
I think it is
Vanilla
Vanilla
Sky, good
Yeah,
movie.
but
Yeah.
they had to shut down all of Times Square.
Yeah.
Unless I'm thinking of the wrong one. What was the plot of Vanilla Sky with Tom Cruise?
Never seen it.
It's like a weird thriller movie. Like some weird shit.
I have that DVD. I don't know why. I think unless that I'm thinking of the wrong thing. Was
but
it
I think
Cameron
it was
Diaz?
that. Yeah, maybe.
In Vanilla Sky?
Yeah, maybe. Yeah,
I don't know.
I think so. If only we had Google.
I'm gonna look that up. Malcolm, don't
Don't worry, he's not.
don't worry, he's not. It's crazy.
All right, what else we got?
Sky.
Ricardo asked, do you feel cameras are improved too quickly, making them obsolete after a few years?
You know, it's not about the camera, it's about the photographer. I think with the onset of good mirrorless cameras, I think it's really about what you're shooting for.
Yeah.
The cameras these days are so future proof. Like, I just spent, between a new camera and a new laptop, I just spent 10 grand on new kit over the winter.
Shit. That job's paying off.
It's all financed. So,
True, that too.
pro tip, B&H offers a like credit card that you can get like 12-month interest-free financing. It's basically a free business loan.
Yeah.
So I did that for my camera, and then PayPal credit, 6 months interest-free financing for my laptop. And it's like, I have the money if I needed to pay it outright, but this way I can let my money continue to accumulate interest and like be there when I need it.
Yeah.
And just pay this kit off over time as I use it. I think to a certain degree, cameras aren't moving too fast. I think the industry as a whole is just moving so fast. I mean, like, AI is already leaps and bounds better than it was last year, better than the year it was before. I started messing around with the AI thing when it started to become popular in like 2022. I had a Midjourney account, and like, it couldn't even make a car, you know? And in 3 years now, I think it was 22, maybe 23, whatever it was, one of those blurred years. Now it's like you can photo render stuff, like stuff that you can't even tell if it's real or not. And it's like, it's come so far so fast. And I called this like, early on, I was like, we're getting into the like decent stills part. Just wait until we start having AI rendered footage. And we're there now.
Yeah.
Like,
It's scary.
yeah,
A
it's
little
like
bit.
you can't tell, like, no more people with 7 fingers. Like,
Yeah, that was for like what, 6 months, and then that was gone.
yeah, like the latest version of whatever the Google prompt is, that you can literally just like type in a prompt and it will generate an entire short film that looks like it was made by a $1 million production company.
Yeah.
And it's like, it's one of the scariest parts of the industry, because we're already seeing the effects of it in the technology sectors. I think like Microsoft just laid off like 9,000 people or something like that.
Jesus.
While having record high profits or shares or whatever. It's like all the entry level positions, like coders that, you know, would normally do this stuff, like AI is doing it now. And I'm using it. Like, I use ChatGPT to help me like code HTML and stuff for my website, because I don't know how to code HTML. I can read it, I can understand it because I did a little bit of it in college, but like, it's just the way things are going. It's like, I think AI is basically tripping over itself, trying to improve.
Yeah.
And we're going far fast, a little too far, a little too fast, I think. It's like, soon we're going to get to the point where a company like Toyota or Subaru or someone, instead of hiring a production crew to go out into the woods for 2 weeks and film and photograph the new wilderness edition of one of their cars or whatever, it's just going to be rendered on AI. Like,
yeah, that's kind of freaky.
You know,
I was just like spaced out just thinking about the fact that AI really is going to do that.
Yeah, they're gonna have to figure out some
Figure
out some crazy stuff.
all them fucking jobs, every single one of them fucking jobs that was at my old office that I worked at, gone.
Yep.
What?
like, they're going to do it because
Dude, it would be so easy.
When
Those are
has-
the most mundane functions ever on a computer.
when has a company ever preferred people over saving money?
Dude, that is crazy.
Like, it's gonna happen, you know? And so like, I'm also, as a photographer, like, not to get too off topic, but I'm trying to stay in a lane where I know I have job security. Like, I would love to be the guy that's shooting commercials for Toyota, but I just don't know that by the time I made those connections and get in there, like, there is still going to be a job.
Yeah.
But like, if you want to like sell your 1978 Ferrari Le Mans car, that there's only 3 of them in the world, AI can't render that. you need to photograph that. Like AI can maybe render a vision of that car, but it's not,
Yeah, it's
that,
not that
car.
car.
You know,
Yeah.
like there's still going to be instances where people need to see the actual version of what they're getting.
Yeah.
People are still going to need portraits, like real portraits. Like in a way, there is like a space where on a certain level, photography is becoming more in demand because it's real. And I think at some point, probably much like all of Gen Z is bringing back like analog, you know, like records and like wired headphones and like 90s clothing and all that.
Damn, I never left wired headphones.
Dude,
I didn't either.
Yeah, I still have. But the problem is that this phone that I got no longer takes that new thing that I got. Like
The lightning port?
The lightning one.
Yeah.
And now I need to get headphones for this that are wired.
Yep.
It's like a new, yeah.
This
Yeah.
this is a USB-C. You got USB-C, Uncle?
Fuck no, I don't.
Yeah, what do you have?
Some old shit, bro.
You got the normal?
You got the lightning.
The lightning?
Yeah.
Is it a lightning?
Yeah.
Show it to James. Is it the lightning?
Yeah, it's the skinny guy, right?
Yeah.
That's the lightning.
Thank you. Dude, the USB-C thing's kind of convenient for
I wish they would not fucking change the charging port like every 10 years or like 5 years.
It's
or
not
whatever.
going to
Dude.
happen anymore.
Yo,
It was like,
I'll remember to
you gotta
tell you that.
remember that. You remember your phones, our phone eras, dude. Every charger was fucking different, dude.
Yeah.
NB had a different charger. Razer.
Yeah, but once you got
Nokia,
an iPhone, that was it.
that was it.
yeah.
But that
Not
was
anymore.
that was a new thing. Now you're spoiled. That's it.
Yeah.
Unless you had Android, you used to be able to use micro USB for all of them, so they were kind of
Yeah. They were a little ahead of the curve.
a little bit, but
There's
nobody
like-
talks about that.
I think it was like an EU ruling or something
Yep.
like that that told Apple, like, you have to go USB-C.
Or we're not going to let you sell your phones in our country.
Yeah, like you can't do this bullshit anymore.
Jesus.
I'm glad they did.
They also did the whole thing with the iMessage, right?
To make it more compatible
Yeah.
with. Yeah, I think, yeah.
I was
And it
about
still
to
doesn't
switch-
work right.
I was about to switch this to a flip phone because I saw a TikTok one day. They almost sold me on that shit.
I want to get a flip phone so bad.
You would,
but-
dude. You could take the SIM out of that and put it in a flip phone, and it would do everything
Oh,
that
I
you
don't
needed
want
to do.
that. I want to get rid of this and not have anything. But
Yeah.
I want Spotify on a flip phone. That's it.
Yeah, that's it.
all I
That's the
want.
only thing that's on it.
iPad,
I'm about
or
to-
iPod.
Yo, somebody,
to
I
the
know
iPod.
exactly what somebody's getting for Christmas, bro. I know exactly what it is.
Yeah.
You would love this thing.
All right.
Malcolm, you know what I'm talking about? Yeah, dude, he would love it. Fuck yeah. All right, I got to remember that.
The only other thing was Jake Parrish said, Gravy Train, James, so many memories with him when I first started media. Jake Parrish, good old Jake Parrish.
Shout out
Oh
Jake
my God.
Parrish.
Yeah, that's right. Jake was
a media guy,
first.
apparently.
He was a media guy. Yeah, he was just a little nipper. Yeah,
So-
dude.
Some of y'all make it, some of y'all don't.
It was,
Whoa.
Jake didn't
Jake's
make it.
making it, dude. Jake is awesome.
Jake
Fuck
is
you.
a driving prodigy, though.
Yeah,
He
but he's going to LS1, so.
now. I don't even know what he's doing now.
That guy is just, look at him. That guy is.
He's not even
is-
happy about it. He's
that
like,
guy is an LS1.
he's like, yeah, I got to get the LS1 first. I was
crumple
like,
him up.
yikes. He's like, yeah, I know.
You crumple him up and envision Jake as a motor, LS.
Bald
I
Eagles.
feel like he's that engine you were talking about in that Corolla.
What is it?
2ZZ or whatever.
Oh, no. That's not Jake. That motor is highly efficient and lean.
Oh, okay. So never mind.
That's not crazy. That's not Jake.
One of my-
You gotta love Jake for who Jake is.
One of my funniest Jake Parrish moments was, you guys know Justin Cottrell, right? He had the turbo Miata at Club Loose.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So, he's all tatted up. And like one of the events when Jake was still like, before he could even drink, I think, I don't know.
Oh, he's like nubile
man's
Jake.
a maniac.
Yeah, young Jake.
He got like everybody at Sneaky Pete's to like draw all over his body.
Yeah, I remember that.
And he like was walking around shirtless the next day. And like I took a photo of him, and then I also took a photo of Justin Cottrell with no shirt, and I put them side by side. I was just like father, like son.
Yeah.
Because it was this
Are
big-
you the reason that was his dad? Like that was from that moment
it was
on?
already a thing
Okay,
before
all
then.
right.
Like they did that themselves. I wasn't trying to put any like family together like that, but I was just like, dude, like this is hilarious. Like couldn't have painted a more like Jake Parrish picture.
We need to get that kid a new hat. I think
No, I got him. I think I gave him one. Or he
for
got,
Christmas.
I think his girlfriend came in here and
6
bought one.
months ago.
You think he's fucking gone through that one already? Yeah, he probably did.
Dude, I don't
Probably.
think it leaves his head, dude.
Yeah.
And when it does, you
What?
know what I mean?
That's fucked.
Dude, you know,
I'm not saying anything.
don't. But Jake, I'll get most loyal hat wear ever, dude.
100%.
Everywhere. I got this
He
thing.
promoted that hat more than we ever did.
Dude, seriously. Like it doesn't leave his head. And I got a fucking awesome photo of him. Look at him wearing the hat right there.
There he is.
At Pocono.
That's your
At
boy.
RSD.
Like
Yeah, that was RSD,
the
right?
hat does not leave his head. Yeah, it was RSD.
We were talking about before we started or earlier, we were saying you've only shot at Club Loose so far, right?
I've shot at Club Loose. Did 2 rounds of FDNJ, and
That's kind of
yeah,
cool.
I shot at Thompson once. I went for
Oh, that's cool.
for a Lock City Drift. Or no, it was Final Bout Special Stage East 21, I think.
That's the one that you judged.
You need to go to Final Bout in the Midwest because you
Yeah.
need to go to that track.
It would be
Ooh,
cool, to
dude.
go
I would
to.
love to see a gravy set.
But
from
more
fucking,
importantly, he needs to go to the Toge ones they be doing, Drift Appalachia.
Yeah, you know
That would be crazy to see.
I've been wanting to go to that. I don't know. I don't think it's going to happen for reasons outside of my control.
It's
Yeah.
pretty far as shit.
I mean, that's not the issue. It's I don't think the people running it would let me in.
Really?
It's a long story. It's not a story for the podcast.
All right, that's good.
I'll tell you guys offline.
All right.
That's for the
Yeah.
Patreon only. You know?
No, there's not. But is there anything else that you wanted to share, or dude? Thank you for coming on the podcast.
Thank you guys
Yeah,
for
thank you
having
for
This
me.
has been
driving up.
amazing.
Yeah,
It's
been a
finally
pleasure.
great to meet you, like the
Yeah.
person behind the lens.
And I think we'll have to have another one because you got a lot of stories.
Oh,
so.
absolutely, guys. I would love to come back. Yeah,
dude, we
I
need to
know.
do like maybe like a Club Loose one, but involve like I don't know what
More media people, you mean?
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
There's
That would
like
be cool.
Gabagool and a couple other people reached out to me to say that they wanted to do one with us. So I was like, no, let me talk
Maybe
to
we
them.
should get a couple media people and do something like that. Yeah.
I guess.
I mean, we like having media guys on because it gives you a different perspective. You know.
Yeah, no.
And-
me and like the core media dudes who made up like most of the I guess primary group from like, I don't know, 2018 onward. Or we've kind of like phased out now, but we're all still in a group chat together. We all go to Trog together every year. Like last year it was like 7 or 8 of us deep that went to
Yeah.
Trog. Like people are, slowly moving on to new stuff. Like just life is happening.
Yeah.
But we try to get together still, and it would be cool to have some of those guys on here.
We'll be at Trog with Carl.
Dude, there's so many
Oh,
other.
sweet.
There's another guy I know that when I went to Rowan with recently that he's into bikes too. Goes to Trog, the race of gentlemen's or whatever. Dude, I wonder do you know Ryan Sass?
I feel like I've heard that name, but I don't.
He
think
would
I
always
know
shoot
him.
turn 1 at Club Loose, but he was always into bikes and always going to the race of gentlemen's before I even knew what that was.
Yeah.
But shout out Ryan Sass. But yeah, thanks for coming on the podcast.
Yeah, guys, thank
Yeah,
you
We're gonna
thank
have
you.
another one.
for sure.
Oh,
All right, hit a little burp ski. You ever hit a little burp ski just now?
I heard it. Yeah.
Yeah, it was fucking. It smells horrible over here. Thank you guys. Thank you, James, and everybody for listening. This has been another episode.
We got more good ones coming this month.
Yeah, do we? Yeah, we do. Oh, fuck yeah. We got, who do we have next week? Jordan Voorhees?
Yep.
And then after that, we have, am I allowed to say this?
Let's not.
Yeah, all right.
Just
Okay.
in
Well, we
case.
have Jordan Voorhees next week. I talked to him at Ready Set Drift. Last week, I got to talk to him about bikes because I have a bike. You know what I mean? And I got to talk to him
Yeah.
about his booth.
Big biker boy.
We went
Oh,
to-
so
we-
you told him the whole thing when you saw his thing?
I DM'd him that day.
Okay, I
I was
didn't
like,
know- I didn't know if you
I was
knew.
like, I've been following Jordan for 10 years, like 8 years or something like
I
that.
thought you were just gonna wait for the pod. And
No, I
be
was just
Yo,
like-
by the way,
Dude, it's like our first DM. I think I had a DM to him from like 2014.
Yeah.
And then after that, it was like, yo. But all
yeah,
right.
this month looks pretty good.
Sounds good. Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you guys so much for the support so far with the painting thing. Where do they find your stuff,
Oh,
James?
yeah.
Do you do anything of that sort?
We have that one Instagram.
Oh yeah,
Uh,
you can follow me on my personal Instagram, James Gravy. You can follow Motorcar Media Co, which desperately needs more marketing because, like I
That
said,
deserves
right
more.
now I work in a space where I don't have any exposure on that account. Like I work with like 2 of my 3 brokers are not on Instagram, and the third one, this is just how it goes when you work for businesses. Like you don't always get tagged in the work. You're just kind of the guy behind the scenes making it happen. So need more exposure. I need more people to hire me. I would love to I haven't really shot any Japanese stuff for Motorcar Media Co, but clean, S chassis, NSXs, GTRs, anything that's cool, interesting, all of it. I'm into it. R35, would love to get an R35. I've never worked with an R35. If anybody, out there wants to
in the
get
shop.
together to collab,
Is
whatever.
it really?
Yeah, but it's not photo.
Oh, it's not
worthy.
that. Oh, okay.
I would also love to come shoot some photos for you guys. Just come whenever I'm back.
We'll be in
I was
touch.
about to say,
Yeah.
did you guys talk in here?
We didn't talk about shit until right now.
You didn't show him at all outside?
He saw the shop, but we didn't really. The shop's a mess right now too because of the.
This is, okay, perfect. I want James to see what a mess looks like in here.
All right, we'll go
Dude,
for a little
it
walk.
Probably looks awesome. I mean, just from what I saw, it's the cleanest drift shop I've ever
Yeah, what the fuck? I would sleep on the floor.
Yeah.
In there.
Thank you.
Anyway.
I appreciate it.
In the
Thank you
corner.
guys.
Awesome.
The corners are swept up.
I would come here just to look around. It's basically a museum almost. You know?
I think some people do. Do some people do that?
With my car in here, it is a museum.
Yeah, it is. Well, thank you guys so much for watching. I am now twitching and I have ADHD to move, so I need to get up.
See ya.
So, good night. Thank you guys always for the support.
Peace, guys.
Peace.
Thank you.
Dude,
I got 2 questions.
yeah. Hold on. Why would you do that right off the rip?
First question. You're still. All right, another podcast for the books.
James Gravy.
James Gravy on that gravy train. Gravy train.
Going off the rails on the gravy train. He's a good storyteller though.
Gravy train. They called that when you got a lot of easy work at the shop. Gravy train. You're on the gravy train.
Gravy, everything's gravy.
Yeah.
Too easy.
Yep. You're just on the gravy train. Remember when Brian told us that story when he worked at the dealership?
Yeah. That was
made
a
a-
gravy
He
train.
made 150 hours in a week.
Yeah.
That's a gravy train.
Trying to figure out how to do that here.
Yeah, good luck. All right. So anyway, great episode. Loved it. Guys, if you think we should have more media people on, let us know and send us some ideas because it's definitely a different perspective on the drifting community, I would say.
Yeah.
You
get the people who love drifting for the visual reasons rather than the
Yeah, it's
driving experience.
totally different. And I asked him, I was like, oh, you drift? Before it started, I said, you drift? He's like, oh, no. Don't know if I really want to get into that. I was like, oh, all right. That's fine. I mean,
Yeah.
that's fine. It sounds like you're smart.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, he's got the E36, I think. E36, right? Yeah.
Yeah,
So
something like that.
might be thinking about doing that, but it's just, I don't know. Drifting's expensive. So, some people just don't want to get into it. And not to mention, he sees everyone drifting at Club Loose. And he sees how much of a hassle it is for a lot of them, probably.
Yeah.
So,
Blood, sweat, and tears.
but I will say, those are some of the best photos.
Yeah, he makes amazing compositions, if you will.
Yeah,
That's
is
the
that
word,
what
right?
it is? I guess
Yeah.
that's the.
He's really good at.
I was waiting for him to tell me
Composition.
that he had some special button he presses on his camera and it just turns it into that. Because,
No.
dude, I literally was looking at some of his photos. I was like, why does his photo look like that and no one else's photos look like that?
Yeah, it's a lot in the post
Yeah.
editing.
I think the post editing is what I kind of was.
Yeah, but you need to be artistic just to edit.
Well, the layout of the photo, obviously he has
Yeah.
a thing where he likes the foreground stuff. And then
Yeah, the planning starts as soon as you look through the. What is that called?
the lens, the
What's it
aperture,
called, Eddie?
the aperture.
The viewfinder.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely cool, man. I wish we could have talked about his photos more, honestly, but this outro
Dude,
is
he has
getting
way
crazy.
way too many. What'd you
Yeah,
say?
I know. I said this outro is getting crazy. We should
Yeah.
probably cut it.
Yeah.
All right. Anyway,
Reflecting
this is
too
turning
much.
into a podcast.
Yeah.
I hope you guys like the secondary podcast at the end of each episode. Guys, we have a raffle going on this month, just like every month, because you know what we do here? We give shit away for free.
Yeah, and they just keep getting bigger and better every month.
Bigger, better, fucking. It's just, I don't even know. Everything is just. I wish I could enter the giveaway sometimes. Let's just put it that way.
Yeah.
Like we just gave stage wheels away to some kid. He answered the phone. He said, "Oh, well, how much? Oh, what's the discount price?" No.
It's free.
It's free, man. You won them for free. He's like, I didn't even know I was entered in this. I just bought 2 bolts. I was like, look, all right, it doesn't matter what you bought.
You see his dad commented on the Instagram post?
No, I didn't see.
He was like, thank you guys so much. Like he was so
For real?
happy when I got home. Like he would jump in for joy. Yeah. Class act, guys.
That's what we are here at Faction Motorsports. We're just a class act.
Yeah. We honestly wear a suit and tie every day to work just to keep it professional.
Yeah, I definitely don't fucking do that, but we'll keep giving shit away for free if it means you guys order with us. So,
A slight bribery.
well, it is a marketing scheme. Wait, I don't want to lie to anyone here, but no, guys, it's fun. This is fun. That was fun calling that guy up.
Yeah, it's always fun every month.
Yeah, when you get.
But every time they answer the phone, they're like,
Yeah.
oh, okay.
They have no idea
right,
they were
thanks.
even entered to win anything.
And then once we email them after, they're like, oh God, thank you guys so much. I'm like, sorry, I didn't know.
Once they
what was
realize
going
it's
on."
not a scam, they're like, oh shit.
Yeah.
All right,
And
cool.
after I say, this phone call's being recorded, they're probably like, fuck, what did I do?
Yeah, that's not good either. But this month, we're giving away Origin Labo front and rear over fender set. Not just the fronts, not just the rears. You're
A set.
completing the whole car
All 4 corners.
in one shot. Done. Just like that. With a snap of the fingers and a click of the enter button.
Yep.
When you spend $5 on the website, boom, your car's done. A little bit of paint here and there, and you're good to go. So we just got a bunch of Origin Labo parts in stock as well. So that
Yes.
means that when you do win, you guys got the pick of the litter because there's 170 pairs of fenders back there, 150 pairs of pairs of fenders back there, I think.
Yeah, we got a lot, guys.
Yeah. So there most likely won't be any waiting around for fenders. So
Yeah. Unless all of it sells out this month, which would be crazy.
which would be great. I really
honestly,
hope.
if y'all could make that happen, so be it.
So be it. That would be great. But yeah, that being said, we have a lot of Origin Labo parts in stock. So if you guys are interested in any of that and you're trying to see if we have it in stock, well, guess what? We do. Don't even ask because we have it in stock. Unless
No.
it's a GT wing or an
hood.
Eagle wing or or an FRS hood but I would say we have like 75% of everything in stock.
Yeah. All the popular stuff.
Yeah. So check out our website, check out our Instagram. If you're not following our Instagram already, God bless you. I don't know how you found this podcast, but if you're not following that already, make sure you check it out because that's where we post updates. And I'm feeling like we're going to cut it short on this one today.
Yeah.
Unless you got anything you want. I mean, you got merch.
Yeah, just want to let people know the new merch is on the website. Go check it out. People are loving it. Got good reviews so far. Good feedback.
The best merch.
The best, the softest. We try to keep our shirts nice and thin so they're easy to wear in the summer when you're working on your car, when you're sweating in the car. It's not like a piece of canvas sticking to your body.
It's not like a Gildan shirt. Let's put it that way.
Yeah.
I fucking hate those shirts. You like those shirts?
No. I mean,
I
they
hate
have different
Gildan.
types of shirts. I don't know.
Yeah, you're right. I just never buy anything Gildan.
Yeah. But guys, order on the website. We got a lot of stuff available for
Shop.
you guys.
Shop is busy. Shop is real
Shop
busy.
is busy. The shop is hot and heavy right now.
Oh, it's
so
hot in here,
Get
guys.
your cars in here.
Guys, if you feel bad for Jesus or Chris, get them a cooler or something. They need something out there, some fans.
Yeah.
Send them something.
Yeah,
I don't
Uber
know.
them like a cooling towel or something.
Uber them a cooling towel. Or donate us one of those big ass things that.
Oh, the big ass AC units.
Yeah, they're about what
$5,000.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Yeah, we saw them at SEMA that one year.
Yep, didn't buy them.
We looked at them and said, hey, we'll let you know.
Dude, if we had one of those in the shop, that would be nice. That would be nice.
Yeah, but you probably got to stand in front of it to really feel it.
We got to sell a lot of Origin and Aero to make that happen. That's all I'm going to say.
Yeah. Every purchase helps us cool down the shop. by
Every
1
purchase,
degree.
every purchase helps. Every $5 spent, that's it. Just $5. You spent $5, boom. You got a body kit. You got front and rear over fenders.
Yeah. You could buy a product for one of our sponsors, Chase Bays, Limitless Auto Fab. Come on, guys. It's that easy.
Don't forget about our other sponsor too.
East Coast Drift School.
East Coast Drift School going crazy right now with the drifting. I mean, it's about to be. They're about to release their August schedule, I think. So
Yeah.
get ready for that. If you're in New Jersey or local to this area, That's the best way to get your foot in the door with drifting.
Yeah, before you win these fenders, go practice a little so you don't bust up some new fenders.
Yeah.
But if you got busted up fenders, come buy more. We got 'em.
There's too many fenders here, Malcolm.
Yeah, I'm drowning.
Help.
Help.
All right, guys. We'll see you on the next one.
See ya.